get a DUI. Paid for by NHTSA.
Protect mom's assets. Protect your assets. Call Kraus Estate Planning, estateplanningpeople.com.
Your trusted and relevant source for news, sports, traffic, and weather. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 6 o'clock. I'm Vince Vitrano on Wisconsin's Morning News. Friday, December 13th, our top story. A teenager gunned down in Milwaukee.
I'm Erik Bilstad. Will the SROs ever come?
I'm Debbie Lazaga, starting off with a crash. It's on the off-ramp to Oklahoma Avenue from 894 southbound. So that's something to keep in mind if you're heading through that area. The rest of the system is actually looking pretty good. Road conditions are pretty dry at the moment, so we are in good shape. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
We'll be warming back up today. Got to get there first, though. Increasing clouds, not as cold, high of 28 degrees. Tonight, rising temperatures under mostly cloudy skies and a low of 28. Right now, though, at 6 degrees with a wind chill at 6 below. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, teenager dead in a double shooting overnight. 2 teens shot just before 9 o'clock. About 60th and Carmen, 15-year-old died on scene. 16-year-old suffered minor injuries. Milwaukee police still looking for suspects.
Milwaukee Public Schools remain without school resource officers. But how exactly should MPS use them and need them? Milwaukee County Executive Director David Crowley tells WTMJ that although he supports the need for the SROs,
I don't think that you necessarily need SROs placed inside the school all the time. And the reason why I say that is that there's still things happening in those neighborhoods. And so if there's a possibility for us to have police officers in those neighborhoods, but was dedicated to school calls, I think that makes a world of difference.
Maybe a hybrid model of an SRO.
Absolutely.
Again, Crowley there with Scafidi, the county executive in Milwaukee. State law requires at least 24 SROs be reinstated across the district.
Roughly 1,500 people having their sentences commuted by President Biden. The commutations are for people who have served out home confinement sentences for at least 1 year after they were released. The president also pardoning 39 more people who had been convicted of nonviolent crimes. Thursday, the most sweeping single-day act of clemency in modern U.S. history.
Another big tech gift for the president-elect.
Amazon founder Jeff Bezos just gave $1 million to Donald Trump's inaugural fund. The donation comes a day after Facebook and Instagram parent company Meta announced a similar donation. Trump says he's returning to the White House with better relationships with both companies. Last week, Bezos expressed optimism about the incoming administration, describing the president-elect this time around as calmer and more settled. Bezos has plans to visit Mar-a-Lago next week. Stacey Lynn, CBS News.
Is a drone flying near you in the middle of the night? Recent reports out of New Jersey raising safety and privacy concerns of drones flying at night. The federal government has rules for those aircraft and people who operate them, including no-fly zones around airports, military installations, nuclear plants, and sports stadiums during games. But the popularity of drones has certainly exploded in recent years. They've become cheap enough for many hobbyists to buy. Federal Aviation Authority is responsible for those regulations.
A court appearance in the state's fake electors scheme. Donald Trump's Wisconsin attorney Jim Troupis, campaign advisor attorney Kenneth Chesbro, and Election Day operations director Mike Roman each face 11 felony forgery charges. Back in 2020, all three created a document that falsely said that then President Trump won the Wisconsin's 10 electoral college votes. They attempted to deliver it to then Vice President Mike Pence for congressional certification. Jim Troupis.
4 years ago, this very day, Wisconsin Attorney General Josh Hall was told about our plan, and he approved it.
They are due back in court in January.
Coming up, do you really know how to blow your nose? Or at least properly. Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:04.
Hey, WTMJ's Erik Bilstad here, reminding you to subscribe to the Wisconsin's Morning News Podcast. We update it every day with every interview, every segment, every bit we do on the show.
Wait, we don't do bits on the show.
We're thrilled to have the one and only Will Pounder.
I don't know what that means.
Labeled or known as being a big baguette.
All right, maybe we do some bits.
Be sure you subscribe to the Wisconsin's Morning News Podcast, presented by Tri-County Contracting.
Get ready for the moment we've all been waiting for. It's the 300K season finale giveaway at Potawatomi. Friday, December 20th, watch your entries from Bird Bash, stash. All pile into one massive drawing for a chance at up to $50,000 cash. Be there to win your share. December 20th, only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. Learn more at paysbig.com/finale. Must be 21 years old to play.
If you're seeking Lake Country's finest, don't miss out on the Westerly, opening this spring.
It's close to shopping, easy access to Highway 94. I've never tried a golf simulator, so for sure I'll try that. I'm looking forward to some classes in the pool. Heated. When I'm ready for assisted living, I don't have to leave my apartment. They will take care of me right in my familiar surroundings. That is very important to me.
The Westerly has you covered. Apartment reservations are booking quickly. Visit livingwesterly.com.
Sweet, flaky, and utterly delicious. That's the famous Kringle from O&H Danish Bakery. Guaranteed to get you on the nice list, O&H Danish Bakery can deliver that heavenly goodness right to your doorstep. Now that's a memorable gift where you know you've nailed it. And it arrives fresh in just 2 business days, anywhere within the country. Order online today, ohdanishbakery.com, or come on in to O&H Danish Bakery in Racine, Oak Creek, or Sturtevant and taste the difference of bakery made from scratch.
The original Botana's restaurant. More than 50 tequilas, 20 different margarita flavors, convenient parking, and the best service in town. Stop by to enjoy their weekday lunch specials. The original Botana's on 5th Street.
That's Botana's.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:06.
Are the Bucks too old to win a championship? Head coach Doc Rivers has some fun with that narrative as they head off to Vegas. Sports at 6:15.
Turning a church into low-income affordable housing. St. John's Lutheran Church in Madison, known for being one of the state's oldest churches, is tearing down its property for affordable housing. The pastor there, Reverend Peter Beeson, tells WTMJ that the congregation agreed to this project for the betterment of the community.
Our city and county have been amazing to work with. They've been incredibly supportive of this project. Same with our alder and the local politicians have been really supportive because they see this as a need. You know, we need housing in urban, walkable areas, and the congregation is willing to do it.
Reverend Beeson says the church is looking for $3 million to help build the new affordable housing complex.
Are you blowing your nose correctly? Chief Health Policy Advisor for Milwaukee County, Dr. Ben Weston, telling WTMJ.
The way you blow your nose could be causing more harm than good.
Actually, when you blow your nose too hard, it can create this backward pressure that actually can push things back into the sinuses, which can worsen your congestion and potentially even cause sinus infections.
Dr. Weston says there's a better way.
Ideally, you want to gently blow one nostril at a time, so this kind of reduces the pressure and minimizes the risk of pushing everything, that mucus, back into your sinuses.
Sean Brenda, WTMJ News.
Well, now you know.
That's right. I knew you had something to say about that. That's you blowing your nose. Heads up, scam warning from Educators Credit Union. Scammers are disguising themselves as Educators Credit Union's fraud department, and they're calling texting customers for their personal information. So credit union officials remind customers that they will never request your login info, one-time codes, or card numbers or PINs for any reason.
Coming up, the uninvited, unscheduled drone show over New Jersey continues, and frustration among folks who live there, including lawmakers, is growing. That story next.
What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud Phone System. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs.
You sound very...
Calm, I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Nice. Find your business comm at ooma.com/radio.
If fashion is your thing, eBay is it. eBay's where I find all my favorites, from handbags to iconic streetwear, all authenticated. For real. This time, a little Supreme, some Gucci. I even have that vintage Prada on my watch list. That's why eBay's my go-to for all my go-tos. Yeah, eBay, the place for new, pre-loved, vintage, and rare fashion. eBay. Things people love.
Give the gift of a special night out from the Bartolotta Restaurants. Purchase a gift card at bartolottas.com. Happy holidays from all of us at the Bartolotta Restaurants, and thank you, Milwaukee.
Traffic is brought to you by the Bartolotta Restaurants, providing memorable experiences for over 30 years. Get the perfect holiday gift this season. Bartolotta gift card. Purchase yours at bartolottas.com. Debbie?
Okay, we have that crash on the off-ramp to Oklahoma Avenue from 894 southbound. Just something to keep in mind. I'm not seeing delays with that just yet, but that's something to keep in mind. We do have a broken down vehicle on southbound 43 right at Fond du Lac Avenue as well. That is off on the right shoulder. Rest of the system, pretty light volume around the area, so I'm not seeing really any other delays or incidents up on the board. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast for today: increasing clouds, not as cold. High temperatures in the upper 20s. We'll look for rising temperatures tonight, holding on to the cloud cover with lows in the upper 20s to near 30 degrees. It is mostly cloudy and mild for Saturday, with rain moving in late. High temperatures near 40 degrees, and after some early showers on our Sunday, we'll start to filter out the clouds with a high of 43. Rain likely on Monday, high of 48, and we'll see a mix of sunshine and cloud cover on Tuesday with highs in the upper 30s. I'm meteorologist Brendan Johnson with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Milwaukee at 5 degrees, wind chill 6 below.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here's Erik, Bilstad, and Vince Vitrano.
More people in the federal government speaking out, increasingly alarmed by the drone show going on over the skies of New Jersey, particularly lawmakers in that state. They seem to be the ones most concerned. They're like, we live here. We'd like more answers. Mm-hmm. So recent sightings of, and we're not talking about hobby drones here.
No, these are big.
Compact car-sized drones.
Yeah.
Over military installations, over a Trump-owned country club in New Jersey.
And neighborhoods.
Yes. And folks are out there with their cameras recording this video. The White House among those saying there's nothing to worry about. ABC's Nicole D'Antonio.
New Jersey Congressman Jeff Van Drew, who claims sources told him the drones are coming from an offshore foreign mothership, yesterday accused the Pentagon of lying.
They're going to the ocean. They're not pontoons. They're not landing on the water. They're landing on something. We're not being told the truth. They are dealing with the American public like we're stupid.
Authorities in Washington acknowledge they don't know where the drones are coming from, leaving many to ask, how do we know they aren't a danger?
Aha! Yes! Yes! That last point.
We don't know what they are, but no, they're fine. Don't worry about it.
Yes. Reminds you of the great line in Fargo, right? The sheriff, she's talking to Mr. Lundergaard there, who is insisting no cars have been stolen off the lot.
Okay. Are you sure? Because, I mean, how do you know?
How do you know? You keep telling us in one breath, we don't know what they are. We don't know where they're coming from. We don't know where they're going. We don't know who's operating them, but we're not in danger.
Okay. Are you sure? Because, I mean, how do you know?
Right?
You know, I am baffled by this. And by the way, this isn't a new story. This has been going on since before Thanksgiving over New Jersey. It's just now finally getting even more attention.
So here's the mayor of Mine Hill, New Jersey. You mentioned, like, over neighborhoods, right?
Yeah.
He lives there. There's a small community in New Jersey, right? And neighbors are calling the mayor's office. They're calling the cops. They're talking about what's happening in their skies. He doesn't know. He's seen these things flying around.
When he says we don't have information that these are credible threats or various things, it's because we have no information. So if you have no information, you certainly can say whatever you want about what's being presented to you.
Yeah,
I suppose
exactly.
that's true. Yeah.
And you have to listen closely, too, to also what's being said. Some have said there's nothing to worry about. Others are saying we have no evidence that these are threatening, or we have no evidence that these are coming from foreign actor. That doesn't mean they're not.
What's the theory then? What is it? Is it our own federal agency, one of the many, doing some stuff, and they just don't really want to talk about it?
You came up with that when we were first talking about
right?
this.
Like, hey,
right?
okay, it's not a big deal. Don't worry about it. We can't tell you what it is. We can't tell you about Area 51, but like, just it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Some lawmakers in Congress asking for their own private, top security briefing. Yeah. Those who have enough clearance, like, all right, if you can't tell everybody, you should be able to tell me.
Which is
I'm with you. The only plausible explanation right now that's not worst case scenario is what you just said.
If it were a foreign adversary, we would just be letting this happen for weeks and weeks and weeks?
Well, Eric, there's no evidence to suggest that that's what it is.
Okay. Are you sure? Because, I mean, how do you know?
It's Blaine's Farm and Fleet's Christmas sale, and we're spreading holiday cheer with unbeatable deals on festive favorites and unique gifts for all the originals on your list. Like collectible popcorn tins, just $5.99. Half off Martha Stewart carbon steel bakeware and cookie cutter sets, $14.99. For the makers and DIYers, select Milwaukee socket sets, only $99.99. Plus, now through Saturday, Blaine's Rewards members get a free $10 Farm and Fleet gift card for every $100 purchase. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Be an original.
Vince Vitrano here for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Don't ask Santa for new Pella Windows and Doors because Gina Della from Pella tells me that she's communed with the big guy. She's talked with him. And look, the elves are too busy. Too many colors, designs, customizations anyway for them to all deal with. So instead of doing that, you want to take advantage of this deal right now from Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Pay as low as $19 per window, $81 per patio door per month. It's the time of year. I mean, look at the forecast for today. High of 28. Yesterday's high was like 6 or 14 or whatever it is. We're at 5 degrees right now. You're going to feel it. If you've got drafty old windows and doors, you are feeling it right now. So get in on the deal to ensure your home remains comfortable through this winter season. $19 per window, $81 per patio door per month when you spread your payments out. Certain restrictions do apply. And this deal ends at the end of the year. Visit PellaWI.com.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk.
Bobby is ready for Sin City.
Let's get it. Viva. Viva Las Vegas.
Viva Las Vegas. Indeed.
Viva Las Vegas.
Yeah, it's very good. Bobby
nice work there.
Bobby Portis on the Bucks Radio Network. Bucks and Hawks play tomorrow afternoon in the semifinals of the Emirates NBA Cup. Rockets and Thunder, they're the other matchup. They play the night game tomorrow in Las Vegas. Now the Bucks, the oldest of the 4 teams in this Final Four in-season tournament. Coach Rivers says, yeah, whatever.
We have these 3 young teams. You know, Atlanta's young. Oklahoma's young, Houston's young, and then here comes the old Milwaukee Bucks wheeling in. That's what we're going to be. You know, we're going to just wheel in our wheelchairs and come in on our canes and see if we can just play some basketball. That's what we're going to do.
Yeah, why not?
Why don't we just play the games, right?
So you're going to love this soundbite. If you have been watching the games, you may have noticed Giannis is playing very well. And if you're really paying attention, he's hitting a lot more mid-range jumpers. He's shooting the heck out of them right now, and it's working. He's hitting a lot. In fact, he hit 8, dropping 59 against the Pistons, like a month ago? So Giannis made a surprise visit to the Thanalysis podcast last night. That's the one his brother runs, Thanasis. Surprise appearance, and he says what he's trying to do is evolve. Listen to this soundbite.
There've never been another person like me, so why would I try to change? I just got to involve Giannis. And that was my mindset all year. Involve Giannis every single day.
Evolve Giannis, bro.
So he's been working so far.
Keep doing it. Keep doing it. So again, Bucks tomorrow afternoon. Tip-off is 3:30. We'll have our coverage at 3 o'clock right here on WTMJ.
Packers and Seahawks Sunday night. Everybody knows it's a tough place to play.
Obviously, their atmosphere they provide is pretty crazy. I played there once before, so I know how loud they can get.
Packers safety Xavier McKinney, who sits at 7 interceptions on the season. Erik, bold predictions, Bilstad. Forecast 10 picks.
Yep. Need one.
Yeah, he's got 4 games to do it. He knows, though, and this is the problem with McKinney, he knows, the Packers know, teams are not throwing in his direction. Right? Well, they're going to try to make every direction his direction.
I'm going to get more involved. Just trying to, obviously, I know kind of what the deal is now, so just got to, find ways to put myself in these situations so I can get involved in these games and have effects in the games because I know that, if I'm deep, it's probably not much going to happen too much. So
let's get them creeping up there a little bit. Sunday Night Football, 7:20 kickoff. And NCAA Volleyball, Sweet 16, the Badgers and Golden Eagles, both in action today. Marquette, very tough test. Number 1 seed overall, Penn State this afternoon. The Badgers have Texas A&M at 6 p.m. That match starts with a 5:30 pregame show right here on WTMJ.
Don't forget, you know what's coming up next? The Sodies.
In a recent study, over 1/3 of millionaires predicted their ability to feel financially secure in retirement is going to take a miracle. At Annex Wealth Management, we believe a plan, not a miracle, will help increase your retirement confidence. Our team of experts gets to work using leading-edge technology to build comprehensive plans covering investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning. And Annex doesn't have products to push with hidden fees or commissions. There's too much of that already. Annex is a fee-only fiduciary. More planning, fewer miracles. Know the difference. AnnexWealth.com.
Trivia next week, Wednesday, December 18th at, let's see, where are we at this time? Broken Bat Brewery at 7 o'clock, and that's going to be hosted by Kristen Bry, Steve Scafidi, and Brian Noonan. Trivia Showdown presented by Quizmaster Trivia in support of Capco Kids to Kids Toy Drive. So we'd love to have you come out, bring an unused, unwrapped gift to contribute to the Capco Kids to Kids Toy Drive, or text the word Capco to the WTMJ Talk and Text line 855-616-1620 to donate. Wednesday, December 18th at Broken Bat Brewery.
Here come the holidays. Let me help get you ready. It's Experience Wisconsin. Every Saturday at 1 o'clock, we spin you around the state and introduce you to cool places and businesses. This week, I'm super jazzed. O&H Danish Bakery and the Eleanor Room.
Yep, it was named after Eleanor Roosevelt, who came to Greendale in 1937 and toured it. And so we wanted to kind of pay homage to her.
What special spaces? Check out Experience Wisconsin, Saturdays at 1, right here on 620 WTMJ.
Holtebeck Eye Center in Brookfield is excited to welcome Dr. Nausheen Abbas to their team. Dr. Abbas is an ophthalmologist and cornea specialist. Learn more at holtebeck.com.
Traffic is sponsored by Holtebeck Eye Center in Brookfield. Visit holtebeck.com. Debbie?
Okay, we still have this accident on 894 on the off-ramp to Oklahoma Avenue from 894 southbound. Again, not really affect the ride too much, just something to keep in mind if you're going to be heading through that area. Volume is really light right now. We're not seeing really too many cars out there, so delays non-existent at the moment. So we are actually in really good shape right now. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Warming up today, a high of 28, but we got to get there first. Rising temperatures through the night, low 28, and then for your weekend, high of 40 on Saturday with some rain moving in late. Sunday, chance of early showers and mostly cloudy skies with a high of 43. But right now, wind chill is at 6 below, air temp 5 degrees.
6:22 on Wisconsin's Morning News all week long around this time, Vince. Been a very special moment of the program.
The Soties.
Oh, yes, the Soties.
That's going to catch. A couple, 2-3 years, everybody's going to be talking about, hey, don't the Soties come out about this time?
I'm pretty sure I got an email from Peggy Williams-Smith yesterday that in the signature it said Sody Award winner. Yes. Standout of the year on Wisconsin's Morning News. So these are the people that we were highlighting this year that left a mark, that made an impact, not just in one place, but in multiple areas throughout the state, throughout the year. And our final honoree is being unveiled right now.
Why don't you just tell us who the honoree is?
You don't want to drop a category or anything? I mean, you've been doing the categories throughout the...
Kind of, but here again, like, is this entertainment world? Is it hospitality? Is it all of those things?
All right, let's get right to it. Our next Sody.
The Wisconsin's Morning News standout of the year is Chef Dan Jacobs.
Well, chefs, you've worked all season long to get to this point.
Milwaukee chef Dan Jacobs on the season finale of the hit show Top Chef on Bravo.
Let's start with the first course, Dan's tuna dish.
Being on Top Chef has always been a dream of mine. I believe I tried out 13 times and you guys finally decided that this was the one.
Jacobs, a James Beard semifinalist, is not new to the culinary scene. He's been working in the city since 2011 and currently owns and operates Esterev and Dan.
Dan Jacobs has been a fixture in Milwaukee kitchens.
High praise from Milwaukee restaurateur Paul Bartolotta during the red carpet premiere of the show at Discovery World.
An incredible individual who is committed to the Milwaukee culinary community.
Chef Dan
Dan Jacobs has been part of I see it as a continued elevation of the Milwaukee food scene.
WTMJ's What's on Tap host Sandy Mack.
We had an official Milwaukee representative, but he really made Milwaukee, Wisconsin look good.
Restaurante's been in the same location for 30 years. Anytime you can have a restaurant around for that long, there's a reason for it. You feel the love in that space. It's a special place.
What makes Jacob's story even more compelling this year is the fact that he lives with Kennedy's disease.
I deal with a rare neuromuscular disease, very similar to ALS, not as debilitating or quickly moving, but I'm losing the ability to walk, talk. You can hear a little bit of graveliness in my voice. That's a part of it. Grip issues, a lot of physical stuff is just kind of slowly starting to decline. Like I wear braces on both my legs so I can still walk around and do stuff.
The thing about Dan's is how every bite presented something new to me.
The seasoning was incredible. And one of the most important things with soup is making sure that it's seasoned properly.
We killed it.
We did.
He's become a great advocate for people who get the disease because he showed in real life how he continues to be a creative chef and a successful businessman while living with these day-to-day symptoms.
Earlier this year, Jacobs helped raise more than $100,000 for Kennedy's disease research.
This season inspires people who are differently able to pursue their passions, especially in the culinary world where I know it's difficult. But really, it's just about putting your mind to it, man. We all have issues, we all have, troubles, but if you want to do something, just do it. Do it.
Yeah.
You are an inspiration. I absolutely did exactly what I came here to do, and that was to inspire people.
Jacobs would fall short of winning Top Chef, but the future is bright.
With Dan Jacobs being such a fan favorite and nearly winning, you have to think he'll be on future shows, which is good for Milwaukee and Wisconsin and our culinary scene.
Milwaukee loves them, so shout out to Dan.
What would you say to Dan Jacobs if he's here right now?
Make me some food, bro.
Dan Jacobs, who also, by the way, so one of his establishments is Esterev. He brings in some of these other celebrity chef testants whom he's met. They've been in Milwaukee since the show doing work in presenting food or whatever. So what you're doing is, again, you're enhancing the visibility of a food scene here in Milwaukee that I've always wondered is kind of in the shadows a little bit.
Underrated, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, because if you travel anywhere, there's nothing that in my vast travels, Erik.
Yes, I know.
But I've never been somewhere where I said, I can't get this in Milwaukee. You may have fewer options than a larger city like a New York, an LA, a Chicago, or whatever, but all of the stuff they got there, we got here.
Yeah, you're right.
It's just perhaps in smaller numbers, and this put it really on the map. That's why, I pushed for that as well as we did, when we talked about who put Milwaukee on the map, who put Wisconsin on the map. The fact that the show was here,
that helps.
Based here,
yes,
helped a lot.
Absolutely.
But he played a big role in that.
So Dan Jacobs, our standout of the year today. So if you'd like to see any of the standouts that we unveiled this week, you can just text the word standout. We have a link to all of them in there. Standout to 855-616-1620. You can listen to all the audio, even some interviews of our standouts who also joined us on the program. So.
News about your money this morning. WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Dow Jones Industrial Average fell about 235 points to 43,914. The NASDAQ off more than 0.5% to 19,903. S&P 500 was down as well, about 33 points to 6051. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com.
It's a bully that will not let up until you do something about it. And the worst part is that the bullying happens when you're at your most vulnerable. You might as well have your hands tied behind your back while that bully puts one hand over your mouth and pinches your nose with the other. He'll let up, let you catch your breath, and then he'll do it again. Sleep apnea is a bully. Not long ago, we heard our friend John tell you about how his bully was stopping his breathing in his sleep over 145 times an hour. Think about what that can do to your body's organs. It's no wonder that the snowball effects of long-term obstructive sleep apnea are heart disease, stroke, even depression and anxiety. But this problem is solvable, and we have solutions, and you'll be surprised at how simple they are.
To date, Advent has solved over 40,000 breathing triangle problems. It's time to put that bully in his place. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows. When you breathe well, you live better.
AdventKnows.com.
Results may vary.
Every day, Wisconsin's 600,000 family caregivers help their loved ones to continue living safely in their own homes. It's not easy. Each year, they spend an average of $7,000 out of their own pockets to provide this care. Wisconsin needs family caregivers, and they need more support. Tell your state lawmakers, Wisconsin family caregivers need a caregiver tax credit in 2025. Learn more at aarp.org/WI. That's aarp.org/WI. Paid for by AARP Wisconsin.
Save big money on Masterforce automotive tools at Menards. Don't get left out in the cold. Easily jumpstart your vehicle with a Masterforce 1500 amp lithium-ion jump starter. It's portable and designed for jump-starting vehicles with engines up to 8 cylinders, has spark-resistant clamps and preheating technology that warms batteries for easier jump-starting in extreme cold weather conditions. Get the Masterforce 1500 amp jump starter today for $119.99. Sale price good through December 15th.
Season's greetings to you all from Menards.
At 6:30, I'm Vince Vitrano on Wisconsin's Morning News. Friday, December 13th, our top story. Another teenager gunned down in Milwaukee.
I'm Erik Bilstad, earning a diploma and giving the big speech.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. Still have that accident on 894 southbound's off-ramp to Oklahoma Avenue. Other than that, looks like the right lane is blocked right there, so just be careful with that. Things are going to start to get heavier. Volume's pretty light, though, so we're in good shape. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ.
ABC News, I'm Brian Clark. A United Healthcare spokesman tells ABC the man suspected of killing the insurance giant CEO Brian Thompson was not a United Healthcare member. Prosecutors in New York are presenting evidence to a grand jury as they try to secure an indictment against Luigi Mangione. ABC's Aaron Katursky has more.
His supporters are donating tens of thousands of dollars to online legal defense funds, including one set up anonymously on Give, Send, Go. The group saying we are not here to celebrate violence, but we do believe in the constitutional right to fair legal representation.
Secretary of State Antony Blinken's in Turkey is working to prevent a power vacuum in Syria after the collapse of Bashar Assad's government. Elected officials in New Jersey are criticizing the federal government response to reports of drone sightings. Federal officials say there's no evidence of a national security threat. And President-elect Donald Trump's invited Chinese leader Xi Jinping to his inauguration next month. This is ABC News.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:31.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, a teenager dead in a double shooting. 2 teens shot just before 9 p.m. Thursday, 60th and Carmen in Milwaukee. 15-year-old died on scene. 16-year-old suffered minor injuries, and police are still looking for suspects.
Not everyone has a weekend like this. Milwaukee County Executive David Crowley will deliver 2 commencement addresses and earn his degree as a college graduate.
Crowley promises a similar theme, but different speeches for the graduating class at MATC on Saturday and UW Milwaukee on Sunday.
Really speaking to the resilience of this particular class. I think people may have forgotten that this is the class that actually entered higher education at the onset of the pandemic.
The past 3 semesters, Crowley juggled his role as county executive, father, and full-time student.
I've taken anywhere between 12 to 15 credits to speed this along. The biggest challenge of all this was time management.
Greg Matzek, WTMJ News.
Can hear more from Crowley coming up with Greg and Jessica on Wisconsin's Midday News today.
Wisconsin Election Commission hoping for a quick answer to the question as to when folks can cast a ballot. The deadline for Wisconsin's presidential electors vote approaches. A lawsuit from the Republican Party of Wisconsin wants electors to follow the federal mandate of this happening on the first Tuesday after the second Wednesday in December, or in this case, December 17th. Wisconsin state law requires the vote to be the first Monday after the second Wednesday in December or December 16th. WEC wants to ensure Wisconsin's presidential electoral votes are properly counted. President-elect Trump winning Wisconsin's 10 votes in November.
Watch out when you grab that granola bar. Made good granola bars are being recalled because they may contain a piece of metal in them. The company describes it as a small flat brush bristle. There have been 7 complaints so far, no injuries reported. Again, these are made good granola bars. They're sold at Walmart, Target, Amazon, and online. You can return those bars if you find one and get a refund.
Traffic is sponsored by Sendik's Food Market, your trusted local grocer since 1926.
Codorama is going on now at Sendik's. Wild-caught North Atlantic cod fillets for just $4.99 is just the start. Check out the best seafood in the market at Sendik's, your trusted local grocer.
Coming up, a mass evacuation in the Big Apple.
News is sponsored by Wachtell Tree Science. Visit healthytrees.com.
Did you know Walk-Tell Tree Science works all year long, even through the winter? Now's the time to have one of their ISA certified arborists inspect your trees for pruning, insect, or disease issues. And winter is actually the perfect time to prune your trees while they're dormant. Don't wait until spring. Plan ahead for a healthy, beautiful yard. Visit healthytrees.com today. That's healthytrees.com. Walk-Tell Tree Science, keeping trees healthy and beautiful since 1935.
You've probably heard of Ebenezer Scrooge, but who are Dolph and Sophie Tetterby? A lesser-known story by Charles Dickens inspires Dr. Michael Ziegler's meditation on a faith that makes room for both joy and sorrow.
Joy does not come from the lack of sorrow. Sometimes we Christians give the impression that it does.
Why the church should be a place where both joy and sorrow are welcome. This week on the Lutheran Hour.
Sunday mornings at 6:30 on WTMJ.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. Guess what? I was right. My hearing's not great. Went for a hearing test at Vita Hearing Care. They're gentle. They're smart. They walked me through everything. I've got hearing loss. My wife, Michelle, was there, and guess what? They're going to help me. They're a local family-owned company with 2 locations, and Mount Pleasant and Waterford. The test was easy. My life's going to be better. You should get tested if you think you might need it or have a loved one. That's VitaHearingCare.com, V-I-T-A, Vita, the teams I trust. Jeff and Cynthia and their compassionate teams will help you like they're helping me. That's Vita.
Siding Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 6:35.
Packers defense trying to find a way to, while giving up yards, not give up points. Defensive coordinator Jeff Hafley talks about the difference coming up at 7:45.
You were just in the old subway not too long ago, right? In New York?
Saw many things.
Yeah? Is it easy to get in and out of those places? Or
once you know what you're doing, it's a really efficient system, yes.
Well, it was a nightmare for thousands of people in New York City who were stuck underground in the subway system.
After 2 long hours packed together, riders were finally evacuated, led through tunnels off the tracks before climbing through a hatch up to the street.
I was shocked. It was a little terrifying.
For me, I was fine, but there was a woman that was very, very, very pregnant on my train, and she was having a panic attack.
Officials blame a fire at a nearby century-old electrical substation.
Yeah, it led to chaos and frustration. Nearly 3,500 subway passengers stranded for hours. Then they had to be evacuated off, climbing out of the train, climbing through a hatch. Not
So
the
let
easiest way
me
to deal
add
with
this
it.
to that equation too. One of my favorite pastimes while on the subway is trying to catch video of rats.
Yeah, did you get any?
And they're like the size of cats, man.
Are they everywhere?
Well, you can find them if you're looking. And
Wait, they're
down-
rodents of unusual size?
Yes, rodents of unusual size. So imagine having to crawl through these tunnels. No, thank you. I'll stay here. I'll wait till the electricity's back on.
You know what? The larger issue, though, is just public infrastructure in some of these very old cities on the East Coast, especially. That, okay, what do you do in some of these cases? This could have been catastrophic depending on how it went down. Luckily, they're able to get everyone out of there.
I guess rats the least of their concerns, but
hey, still a thing.
But still a thing. 6:30. All right, easy for you to say, right?
Right.
6:37 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Does hosting for the holidays make you realize you need a home remodel? As a family-owned and operated business for over 40 years, J&J Contractors knows the importance of family gathering. Let them customize the perfect kitchen, luxurious bathroom, or a finished lower level for all your entertaining needs. Turn your house into the home of your dreams with J&J Contractors. Schedule your free consultation today. Just Google J&J Contractors or call 414-423-9200. J&J Contractors. Welcome home.
Hey everybody, Debbie Lazaga here for Hall Volkswagen. Actually looking at a beautiful 2024 Atlas, and they've got great deals going on this month, and definitely want to have a great ride for your holiday season. Just go to Hall Volkswagen. They've got everything you could possibly need. So head on over. They've got an awesome deal going on. So give them a call or head over to Brookfield for Hall Volkswagen. It's Hall good.
The holidays are happening at Diamonds Direct. Still rushing to finish your holiday shopping? Don't worry, we've got you covered. Now through Sunday, it's our last chance sale with 20% off virtually everything. Earrings, bracelets, pendants, and more. Plus special financing options up to 5 years. But don't wait. This is your final opportunity to find the perfect gift at the best value before the holidays. Plus special designer appearances. Visit us during extended holiday hours or shop online and pick up in store. Our 20% off last chance sale ends Sunday. Learn more at diamondsdirect.com.
For over 4 decades, one name has stood out as a symbol of excellence in automotive sales and service. It's the Boucher Automotive Group, dedicated to providing exceptional experiences to all of our valued customers.
We will help you find the perfect vehicle within your budget while respecting your time.
With 20 convenient locations, we're the one-stop destination for all your automotive needs.
At Boucher, we're your trusted partner on every mile of your journey, riding with you every mile since 1977.
Give the gift of a special night out from the Bartolotta Restaurants. Purchase a gift card at bartolottas.com. Happy holidays from all of us at the Bartolotta Restaurants, and thank you, Milwaukee.
Traffic is brought to you by the Bartolotta Restaurants, providing memorable experiences for over 30 years. Get the perfect holiday gift this season. Bartolotta gift card. Purchase yours at bartolottas.com. Debbie?
All right, well, we've got a good ride right now. Even though we do have an accident on southbound 894 at Oklahoma Avenue, the right lane is blocked. But volume so light, it's not really affecting the ride. East and westbound 94, pretty much at full freeway speeds through the entire county. We've also got 43 and 41, both looking just fine right now. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast for today: increasing cloud cover, but not as cold. High temperatures topping out in the mid and upper 20s. We'll hold on to rising temperatures overnight as southerly winds take hold. Mostly cloudy with lows in the upper 20s to near 30 degrees. It's mostly cloudy and mild for our Saturday. Rain moves in late. High temperatures near 40 degrees. After some early showers on Sunday, mostly cloudy for the afternoon, highs in the low 40s. Rain likely on Monday, mostly cloudy and mild with a high of 48, and we'll look for a mix of sunshine and cloud cover on Tuesday, a bit cooler with highs in the upper 30s. I'm meteorologist Brendan Johnson with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Milwaukee air temp 5 degrees, 6 below with the wind chill. Another chapter in the case of the once missing and presumed dead kayaker from Watertown who later resurfaced and is now back in Wisconsin facing charges. His wife has now filed for legal separation. More on that in a moment. As to the charge, obstructing an officer, Ryan Borkwart is free on bond. He's due back in court in January. We have talked about, and even when he initially went missing and we found out that he was still alive, right? We said, well, could you charge him with...
Yeah, what
laws did he break?
Right.
He wanted to disappear. He did so of his own accord. And we weren't saying that it was or wasn't, just...
The question was, what would it be?
Go through those mental gymnastics of were there laws broken. Yeah. So in terms of that, ABC News legal contributor Shannon Lloyd has some thoughts.
Well, though faking your own death in and of itself is not a crime, he was charged with obstruction of a law enforcement officer because he did things to obstruct the actual investigation as to what happened to him.
That goes to your point, having both of us read through the criminal complaint, the attention to detail in the complaint, but all of the things that he did.
Super detailed.
Right. Literally covering his tracks.
Yes, washing his footprints off the street.
And so that's where they're getting this obstruction charge of, well, you knew people would look for you. You took actions to push them off the trail, so to speak, to obstruct their investigation so they would think that which is not true is in fact true.
Right.
And that's where you get the obstruction charge. So interesting legal gymnastics there, but that's how you arrive at that charge. As to his family situation, his wife, Emily, according to online court records, has now filed for separation and sole custody of their 3 children. Petition stating the marriage is, quote, irretrievably broken. Yeah.
Let's say this would do that.
Well, let me see here. You faked your own death. You left the country. You wanted us to think you were dead. That's not probably salvageable.
Time to go.
In the court document from ABC News, it says here, Ryan is listed as self-employed and currently residing at an unknown address. I'll tell you what address he ain't at. Right? Can you possibly?
Expect to go back home?
Right?
Oh, man, the audacity of that. Can you imagine?
So, it's a local family. They're going through this. Your heart breaks for his wife or those children who are teenagers and having to deal with that. And this story that became a national and perhaps an international bit of intrigue. And so that's the next chapter in terms of family life for him. Again, he's due back in court on that charge coming up in January. It is 6:43 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
The news you need to know.
In these kind of temperatures, it only takes about 30 minutes for frostbite to set in to exposed skin. Make sure to layer up.
The bitter cold could bring risks to your outdoor plumbing. As temperatures drop, keeping your house safe inside starts outside.
Join Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty every weekday from 11 a.m. until 1 p.m.
It's different weather than usual here, mid-December.
Wacky Wisconsin winter weather.
Yeah.
On Wisconsin's Midday News.
WTMJ's Erik Bilstad for Tri-County Contracting. If you want to know the price of a new roof, if you're just curious, okay, hey, we're getting into 2025, getting a budget for that now. Boy, where do you start? What do you do? It's easy to get the price right now. If you go to TriCountyContractingWI.com and click on the Instant Roof button, you can find a quote for your roof immediately, ASAP. They got AI there at Tri-County Contracting to do it for you. So you go to the website, Instant Roof quote button, you click it, put in your address, your phone number, and they'll tell you the price of what a new roof would cost you. Then you can plan for it. Then you can bring them in and have a look-see and talk about it then. Tri-County Contracting, local. They've been doing it for 40 years. They're the ones who can help you. Tri-County Contracting, WI.com, worry-free roofing, siding, and windows. Tri-County Contracting.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk.
Sing it, Bobby.
Let's get it. Viva. Viva Las Vegas.
There it is. Yeah. One more. Give it to us again.
Viva Las Vegas.
Yes. Bobby Portis there, singing on the old Bucks radio network as the Bucks head to Sin City.
I want them to win.
Oh,
now I'm invested.
Look who's come around.
Yeah. Now I want to. Well, we're going to go through the trouble.
I'm telling you.
I'm kind of excited.
I'm telling you, it's working. Now, I will say this, though. Yeah, so we're excited because they're in the Emirates NBA Cup. We're curious, at least, right, where you'll watch.
Yeah, a little more
attention.
intrigue than your typical Saturday matchup.
In a random December game, right? However, if they weren't in it, would you care?
I wouldn't be like, wow, this season's a bust. No.
No, but I mean, would you care who's
would I watch
in the NBA
Hawks
Cup, right?
play somebody on set? No.
Yeah, right. See, that's still the challenge. Okay, so let me give you this. So Giannis has been hitting a lot more mid-range jumpers this year, like a lot more. And there's a reason for that. He says he is evolving. He's changing his game.
There's never been another person like me, so why would I try to change? I just got to involve Giannis. And that was my mindset all year. Involve Giannis every single day.
Involve Giannis, bro.
So it's been working so far.
Yeah, it has been. It's been working really well. In fact, it's really helped them with their winning streak here. As far as where that came from, that was him talking to his brother on the Thanalysis podcast. A surprise visit last night. You can find it on the Thanalysis podcast. Of course, he's on the YouTubes as well. Giannis also had this to say about the team's ups and downs.
The day you beat the team, like today, Vegas, baby, the Bucks are rolling. They're going to Vegas. Wow. And the day you lose, they suck. Get him out of here. Trade Giannis, bad team at 0 IQ. Guys, yesterday I was the best player in
the world. Him talking with his brother on Thanalysis, the podcast.
It's been suggested on the WTMJ Talk and Text line. I want an Evolve Giannis t-shirt.
Oh,
yes.
I like it. Undaunted and evolve. Those are the two words.
Packers coming off a loss to the Lions as they play the Seahawks Sunday night. Defensive coordinator Jeff Hafley asked this week about giving up lots of yards. It was nearly 400 yards Packers gave up to the Lions. He is explaining, in his mindset, it's not about yards, it's how you scheme to prevent scoring.
So I think it's just a cat and mouse game of what we have to do ultimately to win the game. I mean, I don't look at yards in the pass game and
what he was continued to explain is, you have to scheme for something. In the simplest of terms, he said if you're focused on not giving up the big deep play, teams are probably going to complete some short passes, right? They're going to move the ball on you. This is a complex game. I want you to listen to something that has been running through this guy's head. This is how he processes the information and the data and the different sets and the language that is NFL football.
Are we in cover 3 zone? Are we in cover 2 zone? Are we in a quarter half? Are we in quarters? I mean, each zone you play, there's going to be certain voids, right? So if you are in 3 deep, usually teams are going to try to get behind your hook players, or they're going to try to throw the ball in front of your corners, or find the zone between your flat defender and your curl defender.
3 deep, Tampa 2, hook player, curl defender, this zone, that zone.
Okay.
He went on, E.
Yeah.
More terms, more coverages, more schemes. It just kind of makes you appreciate in that moment, when you're yelling at the TV at home like, "Well, how's that guy open? What are we doing?" Which,
yeah, sure,
speaking for a friend who does that a lot. Right. So hopefully whatever answer we need, we have this week. It's a 7:20 kick on Sunday. Wisconsin and Marquette both in the Sweet 16 of the NCAA Volleyball Tournament. Badgers, number 2 seed in their bracket. They've got Texas A&M tonight at 6 o'clock. You can listen to that game. Pregame is at 5:30 right here on WTMJ. And the Marquette faces the number 1 seed overall in the bracket, or in the tournament, Penn State this afternoon. Winners will play Sunday for a chance to go to the Final Four.
Viva Las Vegas.
Mark your calendars for another giveaway on Spanning the State. Tune in Tuesday and Thursday from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. for WTMJ's holiday promotion, sponsored by the Original Botanas, the best Mexican restaurant in Milwaukee. Listen for your cue to call for a chance to win a Botanas $50 gift card. And remember to check out Botanas for your next Taco Tuesday, Tequila Thursday, or just any day for good food and drinks.
WTMJ's Julia Fellow here for Elmbrook Family Dental. Wanted to share something that Dr. Tybel just told me. From now through the end of this year, new Invisalign patients will get $600 off and a new Sonicare toothbrush. They're awesome. The new patient process is so easy. They have 2 beautiful locations in Brookfield and a brand new state-of-the-art office in Wauwatosa. Book now at elmbrookfamilydental.com. That's ELMBROOK familydental.com.
Sick of campaign ads? I bet. But Racine County needs you at the polls on December 19th to vote for Ralph Malicki for county executive. Ralph stands for fiscal responsibility, collaboration, and economic development. Exactly the leadership Racine County needs to build for tomorrow. The South Shore Realtors Association supports Ralph Malicki. So should you. On December 19th, it's time to be picky. Vote for Ralph Malicki. Paid for by the Wisconsin Realtors Political Fund. Not authorized by any candidate, candidate's agent, or committee.
Happy holidays. Built Right's Black December deals and $1 million clearance sale. It ends Friday, December 20th at 6 p.m. Vince Vitrano here for my Southside neighbors at Built Right Furniture, Leather, and Mattresses. My wife and I just had the best experience shopping for living room furniture. Buying stuff is stressful for me. I go through that process. We went on Black Friday, no less, and Sarah was who we worked with, and she started by listening to what we were trying to do. She looked at pictures of our living room. She drew out a model of the space with measurements, and then we went to work. She was kind of steering us here and there based on what she heard us say, and I feel like we were perfectly fit for our furniture, right for our needs, our wants, our space, and our budget. And still time to get your furniture in time for your holiday guests. Built Right has thousands of furniture and mattress items in stock now. Dining room, living room, bedroom, sleeper sofas, lift chairs, recliners, and more. Built Right also has a wide selection of holiday accessories and gift cards available. Built Right voted best place to shop. Shop now through Friday, December 20th, before Built Right's annual store-wide holiday break. That's Saturday, December 21st through Thursday, December 26th. Tell them Vinny sent you to Built Right, 54th and Layton Avenue in Greenfield.
Traffic is sponsored by Kowal Investment Group, the retirement specialists. Retire well with Kowal.
Our team of fiduciary advisors are here to help you retire well with our streamlined retirement process. Give us a call today at 262-522-4040 or visit us at thekowalway.com.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
At 6:52, let's hear from Debbie on the roads.
All right, looks like we've got an accident on 4394 southbound right at the ramp from Howard Avenue off on the right shoulder, so be careful with that. Along with that, we also have this other accident on 894 southbound at Oklahoma Avenue. That's right at the ramp there, so the right lane is blocked. Not really causing any delays with that, but something to keep in mind if you're going to be heading through there. Maybe a quick tap of the brakes coming in from just about Cleveland, so careful with that. The rest of the system is actually moving along pretty well. I'm looking at pretty much standard speeds across the board. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Your forecast.
Every day.
You got
I eat it every day.
See, so we were discussing, now I have to explain. We were discussing Milwaukee's food. Greg, here's what happened. We were discussing Milwaukee's food scene, and I was surprised when Vince said that he really wasn't caught up in it. And I was like, oh, I thought you were a foodie. And his response was,
I like food.
Okay. Anyway, your forecast.
Daily, I consume food.
Forecast sponsored by Dave Drake Campaigning. Increasing clouds today, not as cold.
Is
a
it
high
Friday
of
or
28.
no?
Tonight, the temperature is going to rise. It's going to get warm this weekend. Tonight, the low is 28. Saturday, mild with rain moving in late on Saturday. The high is 40. Sunday, a chance for early showers, a high of 43. Look at the high on Monday. Rain is likely. The high, 48. Right now, it is 7 below with the wind chill at 6:53.
How is that possible? Right? How do we go from air temp? What was our high, what was our low the other night? 2?
Yeah. It's 5 degrees right now. Wind chill has you below 0, and it's going to be a high of 48 on Monday.
So never mind the flying cars. You know, it is Hollywood, but a lot of stuff that was predicted or depicted, if you will, in Back to the Future 2, which came out in the late 1980s, actually came true, right? For what the future was going to be in 2015. Also thought flying cars would be prevalent. Never mind that. It did feel like we were on a rocket sled within the last 10 years toward, really having a lot of self-driving cars on the road, and that largely hasn't come to fruition. Debbie Lazaga taking a look at connected and automated vehicles today as she checks out how that tech is progressing.
Well, we're already seeing some of the automated technology. Like I'd mentioned before, you have the adaptive cruise control, automatic emergency braking, and lane keep assistance, things like that. So in a way, the future is now. I spoke with the DOT's Strategic Initiatives Officer, Brad Baston, and he says even the connected technology is showing up.
Your car connects to your phone with Bluetooth, and you have Waze and Google Maps, and Google Maps is connecting your phone and finding where the traffic is. So you already have a version of that with connected vehicles.
And as for the driverless cars, well, that's another kettle of fish. You see, driverless vehicles are not legal in Wisconsin.
State law requires an operator to be behind the wheel and in physical control of the vehicle at all times.
Not only that, but at the moment, owning your own is pretty cost prohibitive.
They're pretty expensive, probably $250,000. So you can't buy one. If the question, if you want to buy one yourself personally, yeah, that's probably got to be 10 years away, I would have to guess.
But there are communities where they've been out and about.
California, San Francisco, Phoenix, I think Houston as well. There's a couple of companies that have been running driverless taxis tens of millions of miles in the last few years. They've had great results with safety without drivers in those cars.
Interesting and a little creepy. Anecdotally, I've chatted with my teammates around here, and a reoccurring theme keeps coming up. I don't think I trust a human not being in control, and I can't blame them. You might have seen some of the videos and TikToks of people riding in driverless taxis called Waymos out in California. Here's the general reaction.
I know, scary.
Where was it? Do you remember?
Oh, sorry, Debbie. I dropped out of that piece a little bit early. I didn't mean to do that. I just hit the wrong button there. But the long story short is I just thought we were going to be further along here in terms of progression.
Right. Well, I mean, a lot of it has to do with the legalities of it. The laws in Wisconsin, it is illegal to do the driverless cars in Wisconsin. You have to have a driver in control of the vehicle, which some of the interesting things that they've got going on are the trucking that they're trying out in Texas, which, trucking goes across the state lines. How's that work? If you're going to have a driverless truck, how's it going to go into the next state? So what they're saying is that it's actually going to be a benefit because then you can have a driver with the truck that would be able to rest through the states that they don't need to drive, and then get behind the wheel through the states that do need that.
Well, I like that. All right.
Yeah. So still, though, there's that hurdle of getting over the trust aspect, as you can imagine.
Which, as much as I've been pushing this, I don't know, that's still a hurdle to get over, indeed.
Exactly.
6:58 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
Plans for a $440 million business park in Racine County move forward
with construction possible as early as spring 2025. The Caledonia Village Board authorized the village to enter into a development agreement with Florida-based Ashley Ventures, LLC. Carmen Schools of Science and Technology breaks ground on a $55 million high school campus on Milwaukee's South Side. The project at 2005 West Oklahoma Avenue is expected to open in time for the 2026-2027 school year. Microsoft Corporation's data center in Mount Pleasant pilots a new technology designed to consume zero water for cooling. The center will be among the company's first data centers worldwide to use the new system. I'm Linda Spice for MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on 620 WTMJ.
This report sponsored by Fox World Travel. Go, Fox, go.
Are the changing seasons making you crave a getaway? Let Fox World Travel help you plan for the perfect all-inclusive resort or cruise vacation to escape the cold. We've got special deals with Apple Vacations, Delta Vacations, Royal Caribbean, Princess Cruises, Celebrity Cruises, and more. Whether you prefer to book online or with a travel advisor, Fox World Travel has your back. Visit foxworldtravel.com to book online or call 866-GO-FOX-GO today. That's 866-GO-FOX-GO today.
Brighten up your home, workplace, or event with flowers and trust Welke's Milwaukee Florist to be your local florist. Welke's is family-owned and has delivered beauty for customers and businesses for well over 100 years. Join Welke's Flower subscription so your home is always fresh, or discover the benefits of creating a corporate account and leave the work to them. Welke's Milwaukee Florist has locations in Elm Grove and at 56th and North in Milwaukee. Go to welkes.com. That's WELKES.com for more info and to place an order.
WTMJ's John Mercure here for Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. They specialize in caring for those with early to late stage Alzheimer's or other related dementia symptoms. They provide additional daily living assistance for those with cognitive decline. And right now they're offering a curriculum-based class similar to a day program to the public for those with early to mid-memory loss. It's a great time to think about this during the holiday season. Wisconsin-based and family-owned. Locations throughout Wisconsin, right here in the Milwaukee area, AzuraLiving.com.
At Uline, they know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 41,000 items ready to ship, minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
Built Right, one location saves you money.
You gotta get to Built Right today.
Stay up to date with your trusted and relevant source in news, sports, traffic, and weather. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
7:01, I'm Vince Vitrano on Wisconsin's Morning News. Friday, December 13th, our top story. A double shooting and a teenager dead.
I'm Erik. Bilstad. When planes and birds don't mix.
I'm Debbie Lazaga, and we do have that right lane blocked on 894 southbound at Oklahoma Avenue with a crash. So heads up with that. We're starting to see delays heading back towards the National Avenue area. We also have a crash on 4394 southbound right at the ramp from Howard Avenue. It is a car that is well off the roadway, up on the embankment, off on the right. So be careful as you're getting off right there. They're probably going to get the emergency crews out there, and there may very well be a lane or at least part of that ramp blocked off. So be very, very careful. Rest of the system actually looking pretty good. Not a problem there. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Storm team forecast for today on our way to a high of 28 degrees. And that's also our low temperature tonight, as temperatures over the weekend will rise into the 40s. Right now, though, 5 degrees with a wind chill at 6 below. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, teenager dead. It was a double shooting. 2 teens shot just before 9 o'clock Thursday, 60th and Carmen in Milwaukee. 15-year-old died on scene. 16-year-old suffered minor injuries.
Milwaukee's public safety buildings need upgrades, and the county executive, David Crowley, tells WTMJ it's part of the goal for next year.
We're looking at a $400 million economic development project here in Milwaukee. And so if we're able to, tear that building down, rebuild it, we will not only be able to create even more operational efficiencies, but we can make sure that the justice system is no longer slowed down. We can get rid of our backlog and really move forward in delivering for individuals throughout the community.
Crowley says he hopes to get state support for the building when the new executive session begins.
Sense of deja vu on an American Airlines flight in New York. Crew declared an emergency. ABC's Jim Ryan.
On January 15, 2009, a U.S. Airways jet departing New York's LaGuardia Airport hit a flock of birds, lost both engines, and landed in the Hudson River. Last night, American Airlines Flight 1722 had just taken off from LaGuardia when the crew radioed controllers.
We're still kind of working through to figure out what's going on. We hit birds on the way out.
The audio from liveatc.net. Unlike U.S. Airways Flight 1549, American 1722 lost only the right engine, was redirected to JFK, and landed safely. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
The mystery over drones above New Jersey, creating more intrigue and concern. News Nation's Tom Dempsey.
The state senator in New Jersey believes that more radar technology, sophisticated radar, will be brought in by federal government officials in the next week to help figure out where these drones are coming from. At least one state lawmaker in New Jersey who received a federal briefing claimed these drones appear to be able to avoid traditional detection methods.
Now, the FBI says it has little to no info on who owns these drones. The Pentagon, however, says it doesn't appear that they belong to a foreign enemy.
Milwaukee firefighter charged with beating a man with a baseball bat. Ty Dwight Jackson facing one count now of first-degree reckless injury as party to a crime. Criminal complaint says the firefighter and his brother had said that a man entered their home uninvited last week Wednesday. According to authorities, Dwight Jackson and his brother used a bat to beat the man and stomped on his head multiple times. Police arrested Dwight Jackson last Friday. Could face more than 2 decades in prison.
In Milwaukee,
this is a political case. This has nothing to do with the law.
Former Trump attorney Jim Troupis, after fellow attorney Kenneth Chesbrough and Election Day Operations Director Mike Roman made their first appearances in court, each man charged with 11 felony forgery counts in Wisconsin's fake electors scheme.
Coming up, a new breed of Christmas tree citing unlimited WTMJ News Time 7:05.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
SemperFiRoofing.com.
It's WTMJ's Brandon Snide for Wisconsin Harley-Davidson. The holiday season is here, and Wisconsin Harley-Davidson has you covered. Now through December 28th, when you purchase any new Harley-Davidson motorcycle, you'll receive a shopping spree. See Sales Associate for details, only valid on new bike purchases. December is full of shopping treats. Follow Wisconsin Harley-Davidson's Facebook page and Instagram for more details, and be sure to check out WISHD.com. Wisconsin Harley-Davidson, your destination dealer.
From the biggest plays on the court to the comments made in the locker room after, an in-depth recap of every Bucks game in 6 minutes. No more, no less. Bucks in 6 provides game recaps for every game. Hear the high-flying dunks from Giannis.
Puts it on the floor, spins down the lane, and plunges it through.
Or the deep threes from Dame.
Dame time has arrived with 107.
Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus Audio Network. Find it now on bucks.com/plus or on Spotify, Apple, and wherever you get your podcasts.
The holidays are happening at Diamonds Direct. Still rushing to finish your holiday shopping? Don't worry, we've got you covered. Now through Sunday, it's our last chance sale with 20% off virtually everything. Earrings, bracelets, pendants, and more. Plus special financing options up to 5 years. But don't wait. This is your final opportunity to find the perfect gift at the best value before the holidays. Plus special designer appearances. Visit us during extended holiday hours or shop online and pick up in store. Our 20% off last chance sale ends Sunday. Learn more at diamondsdirect.com.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
It's WTMJ Steve Scafini. Right now, for every 2 windows you buy, you get 2 free. On top of that, Universal Windows Direct is offering 0% financing for 60 months. Restrictions apply. For the last windows you'll ever need, go to UWD.com.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
Whether you get pulled over or get into a crash, drinking and driving will change your whole world. Drive sober or get pulled over. Paid for by NHTSA.
Get your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval to buy at ACCUNET.com.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:07.
Packers safety Xavier McKinney knows they're not throwing in his direction. How he's going to make other directions his direction. Coming up in sports at 7:15.
Could you imagine how great it would be if Christmas trees didn't drop their needles? Well, Could be a thing that does happen.
Right now, there's a team working to breed better Christmas trees. Dr. Justin Whitehill at NC State is the lead on it.
We want to make the trees better for our growers. That means they grow faster, they have a less reliance on pesticides and even using fertilizers.
They also want to make the trees better for you, the buyer.
We want to make sure that consumers have a happy experience, so we're improving the aroma, trying to identify different aromas that consumers like, and also improve needle retention.
Jessica Ty, WTMJ News.
Man, if you can invent like different kinds of apples and stuff, right?
Yeah, yes, and you can, right? You can make a better corn that you grow.
Better tree. I want to check that popular mug in your cabinet. ABC's Michelle Franson.
Stanley is recalling more than 2.5 million travel mugs because they pose a, quote, burn hazard. The recall involves Stanley's switchback and trigger action travel mugs. The lid threads can shrink when exposed to heat, causing that lid to detach. Consumers should immediately stop using mugs and contact Stanley to receive a free replacement lid. Michelle Franson, ABC News.
How many Stanleys in your house?
At least 3.
Right. And none of them are yours, are they? Right?
Absolutely not.
Mine either. 7:09 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
It's never too early to start making your list and checking it twice. Give the gift of a delicious Milwaukee food and city tours experience this holiday season. From a walking tour on Brady Street to our tacos and tequila bus tour or our beloved Christmas bakery bus tour, we have something for all tastes. Plus, we're offering a 15% discount on all gift card purchases through the end of the year. Send your clients, colleagues, or family this delicious gift at MilwaukeeFoodTours.com.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too. And that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
Give the gift of a special night out from the Bartolotta Restaurants. Purchase a gift card at bartolottas.com. Happy holidays from all of us at the Bartolotta Restaurants, and thank you, Milwaukee.
Traffic is brought to you by the Bartolotta Restaurants, providing memorable experiences for over 30 years. Perfect holiday gift this season is a Bartolotta gift card. Purchase yours at bartolottas.com, Deb.
All right, looks like we've got this issue on 4394 southbound, right at the ramp from Howard Avenue, right at the end of the ramp. Looks like a car did not make it onto the freeway as they were trying to get on. They made it up the embankment on the right. So be very careful. I can't quite see if that ramp is closed at the moment, but I would not be surprised if it is, because they're going to need to get emergency crews out there and cranes and things of that nature to try and yank this thing out of there. So just be careful as you're heading through that area. Our earlier accident on 894 southbound at Oklahoma Avenue has been cleared up, so we're in good shape there, and I'm not seeing really any other delays. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast for today: increasing cloud cover, but not as cold. Temperatures topping out in the mid and upper 20s. We'll hold on to rising temperatures overnight, mostly cloudy with lows still in the upper 20s to near 30 degrees. It's mostly cloudy and mild for our Saturday. Rain moves in late, a high of around 40 degrees. After some early showers on Sunday, we stay dry for the second part of the day, a high of 43. Even more mild on Monday, highs in the upper 40s, rain looking likely. And then we'll look for a mix of sunshine and clouds on Tuesday, a bit cooler with highs in the upper 30s. I'm meteorologist Brendan Johnson with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Milwaukee temp at 5 degrees.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here's Erik Bilstad and Vince Vitrano.
There is no evidence that the ongoing drone show over New Jersey is something nefarious. White House continuing to insist it's nothing to worry about. That is not sitting well with the folks who live there, including a growing number of lawmakers and others. Compact car-sized drones appearing over the skies of Jersey for weeks, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, only kind of jumped on our radar last couple of weeks.
But pre-Thanksgiving, well into the middle of November.
Some of the sites they've been seen over a Trump-owned golf property there, Bedminster, military installations, report of a drone following a Coast Guard ship. And ABC News national correspondent Stephen Portnoy exposing some of the frustration and the lack of answers as to what these things are, where they're going, where they're coming from, what they're doing.
Amid increasing concern over drone sightings, White House National Security spokesman John Kirby says the Coast Guard has looked into it.
There is no evidence of any foreign-based involvement from coastal vessels.
And Kirby says what people think are drones might actually be helicopters and planes.
Come on out, Mr. Kirby.
Mayor Sam Morris of Mine Hill, New Jersey, tells ABC News he saw devices hovering.
Sorry, that's not a manned small airplane. It's not a Cessna.
Lawmakers of both parties say the Biden administration should be doing more. One Democrat says the flying object should be shot down if necessary. Stephen Portnoy, ABC News, Washington.
Yeah, and I said this yesterday. If the government doesn't do it, some guy with a shotgun is going to try to pretty soon.
I am surprised that no one has tried to ram one with their own drone.
Right.
We have heard of some trying to get close to these drones, but eventually someone's going to be fed up with it.
Right. If the proper authorities don't do something to further explain this or figure it out soon, people are going to take it into their own hands.
I mean, look,
this will happen.
Look at the overreaction the country had with those weather balloons floating around.
Yes. And remember, we were told, nothing to see here, nothing to see here, nothing to see here. And then it's like, there might be something to see.
And then China was like, no, that's ours.
Yes. So to the point that National Security spokesman John Kirby is making, this is where you need to listen closely to what is actually being said and what is not being said.
There is no evidence of any foreign-based involvement from coastal vessels.
What did he say?
No evidence of foreign-based involvement in coastal vessels.
Did he say it's not foreign-based?
No.
No. He said we just don't know. There's no evidence. Now, it may not be. But also, just because there's no evidence right now, that means you just haven't figured it out yet.
What is the budget, our Defense Department budget? $8 trillion? How is it? I'm guessing, but it's not that much.
You could have said any number. You could have said any number.
It's got a lot of zeros.
Yeah.
My point is, how can we have departments called Homeland Security? How can we have a Pentagon budget of $8 trillion or whatever it is and not be able to identify what these items are?
So, still not. 7:15 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Do you know how much money in your 401k or IRA is actually yours? Or will the government take a bigger chunk than you thought? Remember, you might still owe taxes on that money. I'm Tony Drake from Drake & Associates, and I believe it's your money and you deserve to know what's at stake. At Drake & Associates, we believe you deserve to keep more of what you earned. That's why we're here to help you navigate the confusing world of retirement taxes. We'd like to offer you our free Retirement Ready Toolkit. Right now, taxes are historically low, but they won't be this low forever. So text TAX to 414-409-9982 today to get your complimentary toolkit. That's TAX to 414-409-9982. You work hard for your money, and we'll work hard for you.
Drake & Associates is an independent investment advisory firm that offers different investment vehicles. All insurance products are backed by the issuing insurance company. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only.
Vince Vitrano here for Shopco Optical. Can't see too well anymore. Been 20/20 vision my whole life. Now I go into the restaurant. You know how this works, right? It's kind of dark in there and you can't read the menu, or you're making dinner and you can't read the directions on the box. Never had vision care before, which is why I'm starting this relationship with a trusted brand, Shopco Optical. Dozens of locations, same great expertise throughout Southeast Wisconsin. Eye exam that is comprehensive and personalized to you. And then right there, you just move into the different part of the store. Now you got frames and lenses from a professional team to guide you through every step of the way. Time to get in now before your benefits expire at the end of the year. Chance to maximize your FSA dollars as well. Get started online now. It's Shopco Optical. Find them at shopco.com.
The original Botana's restaurant. More than 50 tequilas, 20 different margarita flavors, convenient parking, and the best service in town. Stop by to enjoy their weekday lunch specials. The original Botana's on 5th Street.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk.
The Bucks are ready for Sin City. Sing it, Bobby.
Let's get it. Viva. Viva Las Vegas.
Yeah, I think I did that there.
Viva Las Vegas.
Yes, the Bucks on their way to Vegas. They play tomorrow in the semifinals of the Emirates NBA Cup. So there's 4 teams left. The Rockets and the Thunder are on the other side.
Okay.
And then if the Bucks win tomorrow afternoon, they'll play Tuesday night for the Cup. Or shall I say, for the parade?
I want to win. Maybe there's a banner. There's not going to be a parade.
All right, so the Bucks are the oldest of the Final Four teams involved. They play the Hawks, there's Rockets and the Thunder. Coach Rivers says, yeah, he's not really worried about that.
We have these three young teams. You know, Atlanta's young, Oklahoma's young, Houston's young, and then here comes the old Milwaukee Bucks wheeling in. That's what we're going to be. You know, we're going to just wheel in our wheelchairs and come in on our canes and see if we can just play some basketball. That's what we're going to do.
Our canes?
Love it.
Wheelchairs
Love it.
and canes.
And then there's Giannis. And if you've been paying attention, yeah, right, just turned 30, you may notice Giannis is shooting a lot more mid-range jumpers, like a lot more. Like he's already shot more than all of last year. And it's working. Hit eight jumpers when he dropped 59 against the Pistons about a month ago. Giannis was on his brother's Thanalysis podcast last night. Surprise visit, just dropped in, and he says he's evolving.
There's never been another person like me. So why would I try to change? I just got to involve Giannis. And that was my mindset all year. Involve Giannis every single day.
Involve Giannis, bro.
So it's been working so far.
Yeah, it has. Keep doing it. And he says, hey, you know what? Next year I'll probably shoot even more. Like he thinks that he's got something here. And here we go. You evolve when you get older.
What comes after that? Learn to literally fly? I mean, this guy's amazing.
Keep evolving.
Packers and Seahawks Sunday night. Everybody knows Seattle, tough place to play.
Obviously, their atmosphere they provide is pretty crazy. I played there once before, so I know how loud they can get.
And Packers safety Xavier McKinney, who sits at 7 interceptions on the season. Erik, bold predictions. Bilstad forecast 10 picks for X. Now 4 games to do it. I'm getting a little worried.
Oh, he'll do it. Don't worry.
Yeah?
He's gonna knock off 2 in one of these games.
Does postseason count or no?
I'm going to say yes.
For your bold prediction? All right.
In my mind, absolutely.
X knows, the Packers know, teams aren't throwing in his direction. They're just trying to avoid him. Well, they're going to try to make every direction his direction.
I'm going to get more involved. Just trying to, obviously, I know kind of what the deal is now. So just got to, find ways to put myself in these situations so I can get involved in these games and have effects in the games, because I know that, if I'm deep, it's probably not much going to happen too much.
So maybe kind of creeps on up a little bit, plays in the middle of the field.
Okay, here we go.
Right. Or do you just want to settle on, this part of the field we never have to worry about? It's a good problem to have.
Right.
But you want your best player on defense to be a little more involved if possible. Sunday Night Football, 7:20 kick. And NCAA Volleyball, Sweet 16, Badgers and Golden Eagles, both in action today. They're in different sides of the bracket, so if either advance, they wouldn't see each other until the finals. If either team wins or both teams win today, they would play again on Sunday.
Viva Las Vegas.
The Upswing is your place for commerce and community.
You have new refrigerated lockers that can walk up and kind of get the food. Is that an automated process?
Hosted by Jeff Sherman.
How it works is we pack up the food according to their online orders, so they have the dignity of choice. We place them in the lockers, and they have a certain amount of time to get them. They're all monitored for temperature, food safety.
Weekdays from 10 to 11 on WTMJ. Presented by Horicon Bank, the natural choice for all your banking needs.
Trivia coming up again on Wednesday. WTMJ's Trivia Showdown presented by Quizmaster Trivia, supporting Capco Kids to Kids Toy Drive. This time your hosts will be Kristen Bry, Steve Scafidi, and Brian Noonan from WTMJ as they host the competition at Broken Bat Brewery, 7 o'clock. We'd love for you and a bunch of your friends to come down with an unused, unwrapped toy and throw in for Capco Kids to Kids Toy Drive and then play the Quizmaster Trivia. That is again Wednesday, December 18th at Broken Bat Brewery. If you can't make it out, you can text CAPCO, K-A-P-C-O, to the WTMJ Talk and Text line, 855-616-1620 to donate.
The Political Power Hour with Steve Scafidi.
Will it be too disruptive to come in fast and furious day one or week one of the second Trump administration and totally blow up significant pieces of the Wisconsin economy? That's the tough part.
Hearing from political experts from across Wisconsin and beyond.
And the impact to that won't be seen until afterwards, depending on how far the Trump administration goes on this.
Weekdays from 9 to 10 on WTMJ.
Do not be afraid. Archbishop Listecki here. The words spoken to Mary are familiar words from the years of Pope John Paul II. We can sometimes be fearful and anxious that we may not be able to respond to the challenges that God presents to us. But God is with us and for us. Like Mary, He will use us as instruments of His power, sharing His love for our brothers and sisters. Be not afraid. It's Advent. Join us at Mass.
Checking in with Debbie here at 7:23.
All right. Well, they still have this issue on 4394 southbound right at the end of the on-ramp from Howard Avenue. Looks like the right shoulder at least is blocked. Luckily, traffic is getting past it on the main line without too much of an issue. So just something to keep in mind if you're coming up on that. Otherwise, things are rolling along really well. I'm not seeing any delays at the moment. The volume is pretty light. Happy Friday morning. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Well, not as cold today. It is going to warm up. Hasn't really quite yet, but it will. The high today will be 28.
We're promising.
Yes, promise. Right now it's 5. High today is 28. Tonight, the temp is going to rise even more. A low of 28 tonight. Saturday is going to warm up. A high of 40 with rain late on Saturday. Sunday, early rain, a high of 43. Monday, rain likely, and a high of 48 degrees. Again, 5 right now at 7:24.
Sometimes it's better to not say the number out loud. Story out of Chicago first, and then how it relates to us here in Southeast Wisconsin. The new mayor of Chicago, or relatively new anyway, is Brandon Johnson. And he had an event earlier this month where he was touting a reduction in violent crime in the Windy City, including the murder rate dropping. And that's happening in some major cities, including here in Milwaukee. Violent crime down. In so doing, he was predicting that things could continue to get even better.
We have an opportunity for less life to be lost if we actually put in the hard work, roll up our sleeves, and not allow the narrative that comes from the outside to determine who we are as a city.
That's a nice soundbite from the mayor there in Chicago. Yeah. That was on Fox 32 in Chicago. Here's the problem. The mayor, just prior to making that statement, also shared a number and a goal. And here's how the headline was written in the Chicago Tribune. Mayor Brandon Johnson tells City Club he wants Chicago under 500 homicides in 2025.
Oh, my gosh. And that'd be a success.
Yes.
Yeah, wow, man.
Now, you see the mayor there working here. He's had more than 600 murders last year. So, yes, being fewer than 500 would be a dramatic improvement. But I'm not sure that's the headline you want out of that. Hey, we could get below 500 people murdered on our streets next year.
So how would you have advised him differently?
So if I'm on Mayor Johnson's communications team, I'm advising him to leave the number out and just go with historic reduction in homicides or something to that effect, because 500 people,
it's still a lot.
It's a lot of dead people.
Yeah.
Here's the hook. We are in no position to rip Chicago. Chicago is a city of more than 2.6 million people. They had 617 homicides in 2023. Milwaukee, 561,000 population, 183 murders last year. Chicago's murder rate, so you're talking per capita, 0.02%. Milwaukee, 0.03. We're worse. Murders per number of residents worse in Milwaukee. They are down again so far this year. But Chicago, Milwaukee, wherever, when better isn't good enough, that's what that looks like. Not good numbers. But again, maybe you don't say the number because then you get the headline that you got.
500. Wow.
News about your money this morning. WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Everything was down yesterday. Didn't President-elect Trump open Wall Street, right? He rang the bell yesterday.
Yeah. You think he wanted a better day for the
He's
day?
Not happy about this. No one has rung the bell as good as I can ring the bell. I mean, they tell me I did a wonderful job ringing the bell. You could expect massive profits today. More profits than we've ever seen.
Are we playing sound right
on
now,
Wall Street?
Is that actually him?
That's terrible. That's not really good. You know he was thinking it. Best day ever on Wall Street. Never before in our country have we seen a day like this. Dow Jones Industrial Average was down 234 points to 43,914. The NASDAQ fell 132 to 19,903. S&P 500 at 6051. That closed down 33 points. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com.
David Nason here, your trusted Fix-It Show guy, here to give you some essential home maintenance advice. If you're dealing with leaks, stains, cracks in your basement, it's time to call the experts I trust at Accurate Basement Repair. They've fixed many of our listeners' basements, and the results were fantastic. Dry, secure, and peace of mind restored. Don't let basement issues mess up your home. Trust Accurate Basement Repair to get the job done right. Call them today.
Thanks, David. Accurate Basement Repair. We're not just good, we're accurate.
Wins, wins, and more wins are waiting to be uncovered at Potawatomi. Get ready to find yours in a winter stash of $300,000 in prizes this December. Play with your rewards card for entries, drawings on 3 thrilling Thursdays. Some seriously big wins are waiting for you. Winter Stash at Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee. More info at paysbig.com. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Hey, this is Steve Scafidi for Advent. I had some snoring issues that kept my wife up at night. That led to poor sleep and a lot of tired mornings on the radio, and nobody wants that, trust me. Put it simply, my nose wasn't working the way it should. I decided to go to Advent for a quick 30-minute visit, one of their great facilities, talk to a bunch of their doctors. They really put me at ease. After a really simple sleep study at home, in my own bed, they determined the root cause of my problem had to do with my sinuses and nasal passages in my breathing triangle. I didn't even know I had a breathing triangle, so I went to see Advent. After a short procedure done in office, I'm back to breathing well, and my wife and I are both back to sleeping through the whole night. The best sleep we've ever had, that could be you. If you struggle with restless nights like I did, take the time to see how Advent can help. To find out how breathing well and sleeping well can make your life and your nights a whole lot better, go to AdventKnows.com, schedule an appointment today. Because Advent knows, when you breathe well, you live better.
Coming up on 7:30, I'm Vince Vitrano on Wisconsin's Morning News. It's Friday, December 13th. Our top story, gunfire leaves another teen dead.
I'm Erik Bilstad. A Milwaukee leader graduates.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. Really, the only issue we've got on the road right now is this problem at the end of the Howard Avenue on-ramp to 4394 southbound. It is a car that, instead of getting onto the freeway, ended up going off into the embankment off to the right. So please be careful. Tow trucks on the scene to try and help out with this, but it's going to be an issue right now. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Increasing clouds on our way to a high of night 28 today.
ABC News, I'm Brian Clark. 38 days until Donald Trump is sworn in for his second term in the White House. He invited Chinese leader Xi Jinping to his inauguration, but sources tell ABC Xi will not accept. Trump's cabinet nominees continue to meet with lawmakers. ABC's Mary Bruce says the choice for Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth met with a Democrat for the first time. John Fetterman of Pennsylvania.
Fetterman tight-lipped.
Are you considering voting for him? So it's just like it's a conversation.
Are you open to supporting him, Senator? Hegseth has been battling accusations of sexual misconduct, excessive drinking, and financial mismanagement. He's denied it all.
A Florida woman's been charged with threatening her insurance company after it denied her claim. Police say she echoed words that were written on the bullets that killed United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. Man charged with killing Thompson, Luigi Mangione, was not a United Healthcare member, according to the company. He remains in custody in Pennsylvania. This is ABC News.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:31.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, teenager dead in a double shooting. 2 teens actually shot before 9 o'clock. Thursday, 60th and Carmen in Milwaukee. The 15-year-old died on the scene. 16-year-old suffered minor injuries.
A Milwaukee firefighter charged for beating a man with a baseball bat. Ty Dwight Jackson faces a count of first-degree reckless injury. During the criminal complaint that was filed, the firefighter and his brother say a man entered their home uninvited last week. Dwight Jackson and his brother used a bat to beat the man, stomped him on the head several times. Police arrested Dwight Jackson last Friday. He's looking at more than 25 years in prison.
From time to time, various dignitaries deliver commencement addresses, but this one for Milwaukee County Executive David Crawley will be particularly special.
Saturday at MATC and Sunday at UW Milwaukee.
These are not going to be the same speeches.
In addition, the county executive will receive his bachelor's degree in community engagement and education from the UWM School of Education.
Learning that I was the, third county executive not to have a college degree, that definitely lit a fire under my butt.
While serving as county executive, Crawley served as a full-time student the past 3 semesters, earning 12 to 15 credits. Greg Matzik, WTMJ News.
Crowley among the more than 1,700 individuals receiving degrees this semester from UWM.
A church turning into low-income affordable housing. St. John's Lutheran Church in Madison, it's known for being one of the state's oldest churches, is going to tear down its property for affordable housing. Pastor Reverend Peter Beeson tells WTMJ.
Our city and county have been amazing to work with. They've been incredibly supportive of this project. Same with our alder and the local politicians have been really supportive because they see this as a need. You know, we need housing in urban walkable areas, and the congregation is willing to do it.
And the Reverend says the church looking for $3 million to help build that complex.
These granola bars may have pieces of metal in them. That's why they're being recalled. Company describes it as a small, flat brush bristle. Been 7 complaints so far. This is Made Good brand granola bars. That's Made Good. They spell it like all one word with the capital G, so Made Good granola bars. They're for sale at Walmart's, Targets, Amazon, other places online. If you have these, you can return the bars for a full refund. We've got photos of the recalled bars specifically up on our website, WTMJ.com.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:34.
Traffic is sponsored by the shower remodel experts at Kohler Services, WI.com.
Upgrade to a beautiful Kohler Luxstone shower in as little as a day or two with the shower remodel experts at Kohler Services. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com today.
Coming up, the future of the art student among the AI.
This report sponsored by Mr. Holland's Heating and Air Conditioning. Visit MrHollandsHeatingandAir.com.
Don't you just love a big holiday meal? Honey glazed ham, roasted potatoes, savory stuffing, and Grandma's homemade gingerbread cookies. I tell you, all that food can really plug you up. Your plumbing, that is. 'Tis the season for shoving a feast worth of leftover ingredients down the kitchen drain. Your pipes prefer that you throw bones, coffee grounds, eggshells, potato peels, and grease into the trash instead. Otherwise, these icky remnants bond together to grinch up your plumbing and cause all that water to back up into your holiday get-together. So, if Santa brings you a clogged drain for Christmas, call Mr. Holland's Home Services. Mr. Holland's Hydroblast technology will bomb that blockage back to the North Pole. Soon, your family will be singing, "Let it flow, let it flow, let it flow." 866-992-1717 or visit MrHollandsHomeservices.com. Ready to flush away that holiday stress? We can help.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here for Spartan Coatings, concrete coating expertise. It's about style, it's about durability, it's about high quality. They're doing my garage floor. They're the best in the business. They are really the best. And right now, if you book before the end of the year, you'll get $300 off your project. That's their gift to you for gifting them your trust. Don't wait. Visit SpartanCoat.com or call 262-462-0000 to book your project and save that $300. Strength meets style. That's Spartan Strong.
With an ever-changing inventory, you never know what great bargains you're going to be able to find at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores. It makes shopping fun because the best finds are the ones you had no idea you'd even come across. And when they're at thrift store prices, it feels good. And it feels even better to know you're helping us help others. Shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it. St. Vincent de Paul.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:36.
Now, the Packers just plain too old to win a championship. Head coach Doc Rivers talks about that. Plus, evolving Giannis. It's all in sports at 7:45.
Speaking of evolving, you got the world of art, the world of creativity as artificial intelligence grows by the day, right? Well, the Milwaukee Institute of Art and Design, it's been around since the early 70s, right? Well, their president, Jeff Morin, chatted with WTMJ's Libby Collins. He's this week's guest on WTMJ Conversations, and she asked him about AI, like moving forward.
We are in a whole new age with the advent of AI particularly. Are you at all concerned that that will take away from the creatives that you've done so much to mentor?
I just think that the desire to make is so primal, so basic to being human, that even with the advent of AI, we will still make things. We may not make them in the same way. There will still be makers.
Yeah, I think that's true, but I think he's also right. You're not going to be making the same way. What if our makers, if you will, are just using the computer more? in some fashion.
Still have to tell it what to do, though. Give it direction,
Yeah.
and that needs to come from something in your brain, right? And it does. That's not to suggest that human makers won't still be better at art.
Yeah, right. You certainly would think so. Anyway, Jeff Moore,
That'd be interesting.
President of MIAD, Milwaukee Institute of Art and Design. He is this week's guest on WTMJ Conversations with Libby Collins. That's 11 a.m. on Sunday.
This report brought to you by Steinhoffels. Visit them at steinhoffels.com.
There's nothing better than a great night's sleep on a Tempur-Pedic mattress from Steinhoffels. Discover the advanced pressure-relieving power of a Tempur-Pedic, making aches and pains a thing of the past. Right now, Queen Tempur-Pedics start at just $52 per month when you use Steinhoffels' 60-month special financing. Plus, you get $300 in Steinhoffels cash. Don't overpay for a good night's sleep. Shop in-store or online at steinhoffels.com.
Katie, Inspired Closets got another 5-star review.
That's great to hear, Dan. Another client saved from builder-grade wire shelving.
Plus, Inspired Closets was able to double their storage space, their closet, entryway, and pantry.
Which calmed the chaos in their home.
Find what you're looking for and find it faster.
Don't wait any longer. Double your existing storage today.
Inspired Closets will calm your chaos. InspiredClosetsMilwaukee.com.
A wife and husband team.
Hey, this is WTMJ's Steve Scavini for Heiser Automotive. I love talking about Heiser. Just picked up a 2023 pre-owned with very low mileage Chevy Silverado 1500 LT, beautiful glacier blue. Love it. Looks fantastic. It's got a black cloth interior. Every time I get in this truck, I say, that is amazing. 8-speed automatic transmission. Awesome mileage MPG for a truck. 24 city. Get this, 29 highway. Towing capacity, payload is big, all the things you love about Heiser. Here's what I love about Heiser, all the great programs. Whether you're talking a pre-owned or new, safe and sound program, right? Vehicle exchange program, right? Love it or exchange it. Valid on new or pre-owned vehicles, which is what I was talking about. Purchase or lease for the comfort of your own home. Roadside assistance for life. All the things you love about Heiser is all the reasons why they say every day and why I always tell people at Heiser Automotive, today's your day.
At 20 minutes before 8 o'clock, what do you got on the roads, Deb?
We still have this issue on 4394 southbound, just at the end of the on-ramp from Howard Avenue. It's off on the right shoulder. It's basically... Well, this is a car that ended up in the embankment right next to the ramp, and they've got a tow truck out there pulling it up onto the roadway. So hopefully they'll be able to get that out of there sooner rather than later. Started seeing some delays now. Eastbound 94, backing up into the Barker Road area from Highway F. And then more backups from 76th Street through the Stadium interchange to about 35th Street. Westbound just a little bit tight right through the stadium itself. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast for today, increasing clouds, not as cold. High temperatures in the upper 20s. We'll look for rising temperatures tonight, holding on to the cloud cover with lows in the upper 20s to near 30 degrees. It is mostly cloudy and mild for Saturday, with rain moving in late. High temperatures near 40 degrees, and after some early showers on our Sunday, we'll start to filter out the clouds with a high of 43. Rain likely on Monday, high of 48, and we'll see a mix of sunshine and cloud cover on Tuesday with highs in the upper 30s. I'm meteorologist Brendan Johnson with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Right now, Milwaukee temp at 5 degrees.
Okay, YouTube TV users. A lot of people reacting unhappily with how YouTube TV has now announced another subscription increase. So my wife and I, we switched to YouTube TV way back in the day. We cut the cord. It was like $35 a month.
You were going to save all kinds of money.
It was
right?
amazing. And by the way, you know what else you could do? You could watch the Brewers. Huh. How about that? You could also watch the Bucks. Well, that has since changed. You can't, they don't Bally's or anything like that. So you don't get that anymore. Over the years now, it's bumped up, it's bumped up, it's bumped up, and now they're pushing it up to $83 a month. ABC's Kelly Carter.
They were looking at ways to cut costs of what it was to consume cable television. But the fact of the matter is that it costs more than ever, and it almost doesn't matter where you get your TV from right now.
Right. It doesn't, because no matter where you go, you're spending all this money. I love this. This is what one user said to the YouTube situation.
One critic on X writing, "Congrats to YouTube TV for evolving into the very thing it swore to destroy," adding the hashtag full circle.
It totally is. It totally is. And by the way, for you non-YouTube TV users, it's coming for you too.
It's not just YouTube TV. In July, Peacock increased its premium subscription by $20 to $80 a year. In October, Disney, ABC's parent company, raised prices for Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus. As for Netflix users, one Wall Street analyst predicts a robust price hike coming in the new year.
Yeah.
Robust.
Get ready. Get ready. So all of these streaming devices and all these streaming services that we once just carried, you're going to see more and more users, I would predict and would assume, starting to cut these. I think we're done with YouTube. My wife and I said yesterday that we cannot pay $85 for that. It's a great app. I really love the app, but
If they would have done it like maybe a month earlier, we would have been able to just drop YouTube, grab the Hulu, and get the Disney Plus with it. Unfortunately, we jumped in on the Disney Plus anyway. We were just like, well, we're just going to do one more year, and then we'll see what happens. Well, we could have done everything all together. So,
right. What a waste. I'm so disappointed. It's become basically just cable.
You know what else might be coming is, one suggestion is, do you need every app if you're primarily watching a couple of shows, or do you go month to month? Because most of these are month to month, right? You can cancel anytime. Do you have to sign a year deal? So,
no.
Like if you're into something right now on Netflix, you watch that show or the couple things, and then you dump Netflix for a few months while you watch your Disney stuff or while you watch your Hulu, right? So you're going to see more of that. And then you know what they're going to do? You're going to have to sign a year contract, right?
That'll be the next thing.
Yeah, because they can't have people just, paying $20 a month, or in this case, 80, whatever.
83. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Not happy about that one.
Sports.
One critic on X writing, "Congrats to YouTube TV for evolving into the very thing it swore to destroy," adding the hashtag full circle.
A cancer diagnosis shouldn't mean we can't make plans. It shouldn't mean living without joy or optimism. Cancer shouldn't be calling the shots. At the Fredert and the Medical College of Wisconsin Cancer Network, we're pushing to put cancer in its place by pulling together teams of leading specialists and researchers who work tirelessly for breakthroughs, who are developing innovative ways to treat every cancer, to treat your cancer. And by providing the largest cancer clinical trials treatment program in Wisconsin, so there are more treatment options and more reasons to be hopeful. So let's keep innovating. Let's keep discovering. Let's push to make every cancer diagnosis a story of survivorship and bring back the lightness of life that cancer takes away. To learn more about breakthrough cancer care, visit fredert.com/cancer.
I'm telling you, we hosted Thanksgiving this year. Going to have folks to the house for Christmas as well. A lot of talk about our beautiful new garage door. Vince Vitrano for Lifetime Door Companies, installers of my new Made in America Haas garage door. Actually, it's a gift to the whole neighborhood. A lot of folks are having people over this holiday season. They're going, hey, how about that guy down the block? Looks really nice, that garage door. You can see the transformation. Text DOOR to 855-616-1620. That's our WTMJ talk and text line. That's DOOR. And I'll send you the before and after pictures. It's amazing. I bet we raised the property value of the whole neighborhood. Do your research. You see, replacing a garage door is one of the best things that you can do, best returns on investment when you sell your home. But at this point, then why would you? Because it looks so nice. Knowledgeable team at Lifetime Door walked my wife and me through the whole process, start to finish, just a matter of weeks from when we started the thing to picking everything out to having it installed. And the December deal is on now. Tell them Vinny sent you. Lifetime Door Company knocks 5% off the total purchase on all service and installation. Visit the showroom just north of 124th and Burleigh, or get started online now at lifetimedoor.net.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk.
It's time. It's time to head to Las Vegas.
Let's get it. Viva. Viva Las Vegas. Viva Las Vegas. Viva Las Vegas.
Sing it, Bobby. Bobby Portis on the Bucks Radio Network as the Bucks now head to Las Vegas for the semifinals of the Emirates NBA Cup. I almost called it the Calder Cup. That's what the ad.
That's yeah.
Yeah. So NBA
Hockey.
Cup semifinals are tomorrow. It's the Rockets and the Thunder. They're the other matchup. Then it's the Bucks and the Hawks tomorrow afternoon. So Giannis and the crew will be there. Interesting comments from Giannis talking about how it's nice when you're winning.
The day you beat the team, like today, Vegas, baby, the Bucks are rolling. They're going to Vegas. Wow. And the day you lose, they suck. Get him out of here. Trade Giannis, bad team, it's 0 IQ. Guys, yesterday I was the best player in the world.
Yeah. So that's Giannis. He was on the Thanalysis podcast. Made a surprise appearance, popped in there. So
they got into some stuff.
Yeah, he crashed. It's pretty good. Go find the Thanalysis podcast. You can find it anywhere. It's also on YouTube. Also, Giannis brought up the fact that he's evolving. He's changing his game. You may notice he's shooting a lot more mid-range jumpers. It's working, by the way.
There've never been another person like me, so why would I try to change? I just got to involve Giannis. And that was my mindset all year. Involve Giannis every single day.
Involve Giannis, bro.
So he's been working so far.
Yeah, it has.
Not a real barn burner for Thursday night football, but Los Angeles Rams beat the 49ers 12-6. There are baseball scores that have ended more exciting. 12-6 was the final in that one on Thursday night. Packers coming off the loss to the Lions. We've got the Seahawks Sunday night. Tough place to play. It's really hard and it's really loud and whatever. Got to win because what do we have next? We have Vikings, we have Bears still, and we have
the Saints.
The Saints right in front of that. And 4 games to play, including Sunday in Seattle. And Wisconsin and Marquette both in the Sweet 16 of the NCAA volleyball tournament. Badgers, number 2 seed in their side of the bracket. They play Texas A&M tonight at 6 o'clock. That game, we're going to have it for you here on WTMJ. Our pregame show starts at 5:30. And Marquette is in action already this afternoon. They face the number 1 seed overall in the tournament, Penn State. And winners will play Sunday for a chance to go to the Final Four. Mark Tauscher up next.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Ensure your home remains comfortable before we reach the brutal post-holiday winter. Yes, Santa Claus is magical, but his elves aren't qualified to build Pella windows. There are just too many options and customizations. So instead of going through the big red guy, take advantage of this Pella deal. Get as low as $19 per window and $81 per patio door per month. Certain restrictions do apply. This offer ends 12/31 of 2024. Visit PellaWI.com.
I remember a guy by the name of Al Stankovich. Oh, yes.
Ben and Arvid Huth, brothers and owners of Penny Mustard Furnishings.
I have never seen children so well behaved as his children. And I remember saying to him, wow, your kids are well behaved. He looked at me and said, well, we work on it. His son looked at me and says, yep, he works on it. I'll never forget that line from his son, who was maybe 8, 9 years old at the time. But Al and his wife bought. It was the first big bedroom set we ever sold. It was the Paramount bedroom set. It was a beautiful bedroom set we had at the time, made in Spencer, Wisconsin. I don't think he knew, and I think we were scared to tell him that it was the biggest sale we ever made at the point in time, but it was an absolute huge sale. I think we were dancing after he walked out the door. Well, I think we were in the store at 11:30 or midnight, just visiting with them. They're just nice people, really nice people, and it was just one of them perfect all-around transactions. Yes. Nice people. Good customer, just a good guy. His wife was really nice. Yep. I remember that sale. I delivered that.
See more at pennymustard.com.
Give the gift of a special night out from the Bartolotta Restaurants. Purchase a gift card at bartolottas.com. Happy holidays from all of us at the Bartolotta Restaurants, and thank you, Milwaukee.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Traffic brought to you by the Bartolotta Restaurants, providing memorable experiences for over 30 years. Perfect holiday gift this season is a Bartolotta gift card. Purchase yours at bartolottas.com, Deb.
All right. Still want to be careful on 4394 southbound. Right at the end of the Howard Avenue on-ramp, there is a crash. A car went off into the embankment. Got a tow truck on scene there. Looks like it's partially blocking the end of the ramp, but you should be able to get past it without much of a problem. The main line looks great right past that scene anyway. Eastbound 94, we got a little bit of a backup from Highway F to Barker Road, and then back on the brakes from about 76th Street through the Stadium interchange to about 35th. Looks like we got a broken down vehicle on the left shoulder as well, right past Moreland Road. And on the westbound side, we've got backups from about 25th Street all the way through to Mitchell Boulevard. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Your forecast, it will not be as cold as it was. The high today will be 28 degrees. Right now it's 5, but it will warm up. Tonight, cloudy, a low of 28. Saturday, it's going to warm up even more. Mild with rain late in the day, a high of 40. Sunday, rain early and a high of 43. Monday, rain likely and a high of 48 degrees. And again, right now, the wind chill is 5 below zero. Your forecast sponsored by Dave Drake Camp Heating.
Idea Man.
I don't say this often. Book it.
Innovator.
If you can tell me right now that on divisional round weekend or the NFC Championship game, we got to go to Detroit.
And Packers Hall of Famer.
I think everybody in that locker room is going to be motivated and feels very good that they can beat that Detroit team.
It's time for Tausch on Wisconsin's Morning News. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and Kohler Services.
Mark Tauscher on Wisconsin's Morning News, sponsored by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Why is this baby elephant on TV now? Josh, I wasn't asking you that directly, just distracted here. Good Morning America has a baby elephant.
Yeah, it's tough today. It's tough being in that studio. You got all those distractions,
a lot of stuff happening.
baby elephants.
And Vitrano hates animals.
No, that's not accurate. I'm just saying.
Is that right?
Who did we have before, Tausch? The hippo, right, that everybody was talking about?
Hated the hippo, Tausch. He hated that.
Oh, yeah.
I just asked because there have been baby elephants and hippos and animals since ever. Why all of a sudden are they all over the place? What's the new renewed interest in baby animals?
Thus your hatred.
I think the interweb.
I don't hate them.
The interweb and memes. And I think it's also part of it is that Christmas song where everybody just wants a hippopotamus for Christmas.
Great
I think
song.
it's probably a part of all those
Yeah.
things. It's a good tune.
Fair enough. We were laughing earlier today, Tausch. I kind of made the point because Jeff Hafley, Packers defensive coordinator, had a really good back and forth with some of the media this week, and they were asking him about, well, you're giving up a lot of yards, and you're giving up a lot of yards passing and whatever. And he said, look, we game plan to win the game, to have more points than the other team at the end of the conversation. So how many yards we give up, not really a concern for me. I think that's a fair way to look at it.
It is. I think the thing from a defensive coordinator standpoint, and this is one of the things I think from a coaching staff standpoint, you want to have an understanding of what kind of game you're going to be in. If you're playing the Detroit Lions, you probably know, hey, they're pretty good on offense. They're beat up on defense. We're going to have to score. If you're playing a team like when the Houston Texans came to town, and everybody was kind of thinking, I guarantee you Jeff Hafley looked at it and said, man, our D-line is going to whoop their O-line. And they did. And, they shut them down, and that wasn't one of those yardage games. The NFL, it's not going to – when you're a defensive coordinator, there are a lot of good players, and every rule goes against you. So it's about making sure you understand what you're good at and positioning your players to do that. And I think Jeff Hafley, while we've seen some spells here where I think fans are getting frustrated, especially in that second half of the Lions game, I get it, but you're not the days of shutting people to 6 and 10 points just not going to happen in this NFL. So I think Jeff Hafley, he's created more turnovers. He's done some things that he's won, but I don't think it's probably been as good as he hoped. I think he still thinks, get everybody healthy, and let's take a look and see if we can't get a little bit better.
Seattle really that loud? Everybody talks about this being a loud place to play. Some have branded it the toughest place to play for opposing teams. Is it that loud in there?
Yeah, I think from an outdoor standpoint, whoever was the architect of that stadium and built it was dynamite because the sound just reverberates, and it's as loud of an outdoor stadium as I ever played in. It was right up there with the Metrodome. So I think from the Packers standpoint, Jordan Love, not very many guys have been out to Seattle. It's been this great rivalry for all these years, but we haven't been out there in a while. So that's going to be a huge part of this.
In the league for 2 years.
Right? Yeah, well, right? that's a big part of it. But even with that, I think Jason was telling us yesterday, I want to say Jair and Kenny Clark are the only two guys that have played in Seattle, which is crazy. But like you said, 6 years is a long time in the NFL. So the silent count and offensively being able to get off on the snap count, change plays, make sure you're in the right play, get your protections. You're going to have to be really sharp because, if you screw up one or two times, that can be the difference in a game.
All right, Tausch, how you feeling about it?
I feel a little skittish. I think you see from what we saw the last time Green Bay was out, they've had some rest, but I just worry a little bit about it. To the Packers and their players, they're going to be motivated, but you probably don't think you're going to win the division. It's going to be a road game. We're going to find out a lot about the professionalness of this football team because they're probably going to be a 5 or 6 seed, right? I mean, that's just how this is probably going to shake out. You get a chance to prove yourself against a team that's leading the division. This might be a team you're going to be playing when the playoffs come around. So I think this is a really important game, but I think it's going to be really difficult to go out to Seattle and find a way to win.
Man, we're kind of feeling the same way in here. Neither of us are super confident. I'm not sure why, other than what you just said.
So, Eric, anytime from my perspective, you go on the road against a good team, I don't care any point of the season as an NFL player, it is a big task you have ahead of you to try to find a way to win. That's why Las Vegas typically gives the home team 3 points.
Tosh, we'll talk on Monday. I hope it's good news.
So, yep, hopefully. See you guys.
Hey, Tosh.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
Plans for a $440 million business park in Racine County move forward, with construction possible as early as spring 2025. The Caledonia Village Board authorized the village to enter into a development agreement with Florida-based Ashley Ventures, LLC. Carmen Schools of Science and Technology breaks ground on a $55 million high school campus on Milwaukee's South Side. The project at 2005 West Oklahoma Avenue is expected to open in time for the 2026-2027 school year. Microsoft Corporation's data center in Mount Pleasant pilots a new technology designed to consume zero water for cooling. The center will be among the company's first data centers worldwide to use the new system. I'm Linda Spice for MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on 620 WTMJ.
James Imaging Systems, your local document imaging partner. JamesImaging.com.
Al Leidinger, president of Matheson Manufacturing, needed better document imaging technology rather badly. Then came a James Imaging Systems sales representative to the rescue.
Tammy Oliver actually walked in the door one day and introduced herself and showed us the new features that the Toshiba had compared to our old copier. So we ended up signing up with them.
Now, after the sale, is your James Imaging Systems sales rep's customer service meeting your expectations?
Yes, she still checks in to see how things are going and if we need anything. So I really do appreciate that from a customer service standpoint.
James Imaging Systems. Better document imaging technology, better support, amazing people.
There's a true personal relationship, and we've been very happy with them.
Less than happy with your current document imaging vendor? Make the switch to James Imaging Systems. It's easy to do. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
Save big money at Menards, your pet destination. Menards carries pet food, treats, toys, and more. Treat your dog to the delicious taste of bacon with Purina Bacon Strips. They're made with real bacon that dogs go hog wild for. Bacon strips are made without artificial flavors or colors and are available in a variety of savory flavors. Transform treat time with Purina Bacon Strips. A 40-ounce bag is $14.99 at Menards. Sale price good through December 15th.
Protect mom's assets, protect your assets. Call Kraus Estate Planning, estateplanningpeople.com.
Breaking news as it happens. Stay up to date with your trusted and relevant source in news, sports, traffic, and weather. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
At 8:01, I'm Vince Vitrano on Wisconsin's Morning News. Friday, December 13th, our top story. A former public defender now needs his own lawyer.
I'm Erik Bilstad. A double shooting leaves a teenager dead.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. Well, looks like they were able to pull the vehicle off of the embankment on 4394 southbound right at the end of the Howard Avenue on-ramp. They've been able to clear that out of the way, so that's good news. We've got eastbound 94 backing up a bit from 76th Street all the way through to 27th. 27th is where the westbound delays start too, all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Couple pockets of heavy traffic on southbound 41 right around the Capitol Drive area. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
On our way to a high of 28 degrees, but still starting out quite chilly. Right now, 6 degrees below zero is the wind chill, 5 in Milwaukee. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, former public defender alleged to be involved in a prostitution ring faces additional accusations now.
Travis Schwantes was charged last month with 2 misdemeanors related to prostitution for having sexual relationships with several current and past clients. Further investigation now suggests he had sexual relationships with at least 3 other women he's represented. Several of the women identified themselves as past victims of human trafficking or sexual assaults, and all of them knew Schwantes worked as an attorney. So far, Schwantes has not been charged with additional counts. He's due in court next week with 5 other men in connection with the prostitution ring. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Double shooting has left a teenager dead. This happened in Milwaukee Thursday night near 60th and Carmen. 15-year-old died at the scene. Another 16-year-old teenager, I should say, suffered minor injuries.
Milwaukee Public Schools still not complying with state law requiring them to have police officers in the schools. Milwaukee County Executive David Crawley telling WTMJ he supports the need for SROs.
I don't think that you necessarily need SROs placed inside the school all the time. And the reason why I say that is that there's still things happening in those neighborhoods. And so if there's a possibility for us to have police officers in those neighborhoods, but was dedicated to school calls, I think that makes a world of difference.
Maybe a hybrid model of an SRO.
Absolutely.
But state law requires 25 SROs to be reinstated across MPS.
A court appearance in the Wisconsin's fake electors scheme. Donald Trump's Wisconsin attorney Jim Troupis, campaign advisory attorney Kenneth Chesbrough, and Election Day Operations Director Mike Roman each face 11 felony forgery charges. Now, back in 2020, all 3 created a document that falsely said that then President Trump won the Wisconsin 10 Electoral College votes. They tried to deliver that to then Vice President Mike Pence. Jim Troupis in court.
4 years ago, this very day, Wisconsin Attorney General Josh Hall was told about our plan, and he approved it.
All 3 are expected back in court in January.
The president-elect says he is going to issue pardons for January 6th rioters on his first day in office. News Nation's Brooke Schaefer says it is a long list,
including Henry Enrique Tarrio. He's a former Proud Boys leader. He's right now serving a 22-year sentence for orchestrating the group's role in the Capitol attack. There's also Jacob Chansley, the so-called QAnon shaman. He became possibly one of the most recognized figures who stormed the Capitol that day. A judge sentenced him to more than 3 years in prison, though he was released earlier this year.
More than 1,500 people have been charged in connection with the Capitol attacks, with more than 1,000 of them pleading guilty.
In the case of the United Healthcare CEO murder, Manhattan prosecutors are now presenting evidence to secure an indictment against Luigi Mangione in the killing of Brian Thompson. ABC's Aaron Katursky.
His supporters are donating tens of thousands of dollars to online legal defense funds, including one set up anonymously on Give, Send, Go. The group saying we are not here to celebrate violence, but we do believe in the constitutional right to fair legal representation.
We're also now hearing from police that Mangione was never a client of United Healthcare.
Coming up, how science may deliver a better Christmas tree. Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:06.
News is sponsored by BBC Lighting. Thousands of specialty light fixtures open Monday through Saturday.
Hi, folks. This is Hank Albert, owner of BBC Lighting. Now that we're into the holiday season, it's time to celebrate with new lights and ceiling fans. And our huge award-winning showroom displays hundreds of the best quality lights and fans. There's not a brand we can't get, and our prices are the lowest, even lower than online. I guarantee it. And our knowledgeable staff is always here to assist you in making the right choices. If it's lampshades or repairs you need, we do all that too. There's something for everyone at BBC, including antiques, collectibles, fun for the kids, and our famous free popcorn. We are open Monday through Saturday and located at 20th and St. Paul Avenue, across from Sobelman's and Bachman Furniture, all near the Potawatomi Casino. Stay safe and healthy, my friends.
Annex Wealth Management. Investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning from a fee-only fiduciary. Forget commission sales pitches and financial products you don't need. Know the difference. Annex provides elite, comprehensive financial planning customized to who you are and what you need. AnnexWealth.com.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:07.
A scam warning. This is coming from Educators Credit Union. Scammers disguising themselves as The credit union's fraud department calling and texting customers asking for personal information. Credit union officials reminding customers they don't do that. Educators Credit Union, a financial partner of WTMJ and Good Karma Brands.
How do you feel about your Christmas tree, the one you just purchased from the lot? Well, there's a team right now working to breed a better Christmas tree.
It's kind of like 23andMe for Christmas trees.
We're trying to really understand where their trees coming from and how we can get better genetics out to them more quickly.
Dr. Justin Whitehill heads up the Christmas tree genetics program at NC State. He tells Wisconsin's Midday News they're working to create Christmas trees that don't drop their needles, are resilient to pests, and smell even better.
We're trying to sort of understand what blends or combinations of those chemicals provide the experience that consumers interact with when they purchase a real tree.
Jessica Tai, WTMJ News.
Are you blowing your nose the proper way? It sounds like a silly question, but Chief Health Policy Advisor for Milwaukee County, Dr. Ben Weston, tells WTMJ this is the way you're supposed to be doing it.
Ideally, you want to gently blow one nostril at a time. So this kind of reduces the pressure instead of doing both nostrils and minimizes the risk of pushing everything, that mucus, back into your sinuses.
Dr. Weston says that backward pressure is something that can worsen your congestion. I mean, it makes sense, right?
Sure.
Okay.
You going to do it differently now?
Why do you keep looking at me? Like
I'm just
this
curious.
Like I called Ben Weston and asked him, hey, man, listen, just a question, man, about blowing my nose. Thanks, Doc.
I'm sure that wasn't the original.
Didn't mean to take advantage of our relationship because I know you a little bit and you do stuff on.
It's kind of like calling the weather guy, asking for your own personal forecast.
Listen, my kid's got a game tonight. What do you think on these storms?
Look, I'm dealing with some congestion. What's the best way to
Doc,
clear?
Vince over here at TMJ. If you got a second, hey, when you're blowing your nose, I mean.
What's with the drones? That story next.
This report is sponsored by the Archdiocese of Milwaukee.
The days are coming, says the Lord, when I will fulfill my promise. Hello, this is Archbishop Listecki. God the Father is ever faithful, so we must be prepared to receive him when he comes, which means to be vigilant at all times and pray that we might have strength to welcome him at his birth, celebrate him now in our lives, and be ready to greet him when he comes again. And he will come again. It's Advent. Join us at Mass.
You know, we always say we love to support local businesses, right? Vince Vitrano here for the Bugman and Queen Bee, your best pest defense. Can't get more local than this. You got the Bugman, Adam. Adam's brother, Matt, works there. Adam's wife, she's the Queen Bee. Julie's the one who answers the phone when you call. She'll ask you, what do you got? What are you dealing with over at your house? Based right here in West Allis, family, veteran-owned and operated. Had Adam and Matt out to the house for a bug treatment and rodent inspection. And if you do both right now in your home, they'll knock 25% off the cost of the two treatments. If you just need one thing or another, tell them Vinny sent you, they'll knock 20% off. It's because Adam and his family, they love this community. They are a part of it, and they're ready to serve you. Hope you'll support this great local business for your pest control needs. The best in local pest defense at the office or at home. BugmanQueenBee.com.
You've probably heard of Ebenezer Scrooge, but who are Dolph and Sophie Tetterby? A lesser-known story by Charles Dickens inspires Dr. Michael Ziegler's meditation on a faith that makes room for both joy and sorrow.
Joy does not come from the lack of sorrow. Sometimes we Christians give the impression that it does.
Why the church should be a place where both joy and sorrow are welcome. This week on the Lutheran Hour.
Sunday mornings at 6:30 on WTMJ.
Welcome back to Ask Hasselus. I'm Weston. What's your question?
Where the heck is everybody?
Beg your pardon?
I'm at your store and...
Yes?
Nobody's here.
That's because Hasselus mattress showrooms are employee-free. Take your time and test our selection of Beauty Rest, Sealy Posturepedic, Certa-Perfect Sleeper, and more without commission-crazy salespeople breathing down your neck.
Yeah, sure, you say that, but come on.
What?
Where the heck is everybody?
Hasselus really is employee-free.
Okay.
So we can sell mattresses for way less. Like the Beauty Sleep by Beauty Rest Elm Cove B Queen. Others sell it for $12.99, but Hasselus has it for $8.42. Plus, check out super low pricing on Sealy Posturepedic, Certa-Perfect Sleeper, and more.
Yes, but...
And through Monday, get an extra $248 credit just for shopping local.
Well, that's great, but I just have one question.
What's that?
Where the heck is everybody?
Open 9 to 9. Find an honest-to-goodness, employee-free showroom near you at Hasselus.com. Hasselus, employee-free since 2014.
At 8:12, what do you see on the roads here, Deb?
Well, we got a new crash on Highway 175 southbound right about at 94. It's the right lane is blocked right now. Some debris involved with this too, so watch out for those backups through that area. On eastbound 94, backing up from about 60th Street all the way through to 35th. The westbound side's cleared up. A little bit of a tap the brakes leaving the stadium interchange itself, but the rest of the system is looking pretty good. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Right now we're at 5 degrees. And the wind chill is still below zero, but we're on our way to a high of 28. And then that's our low temperature once again tonight. As for the weekend, we're on our way back to the 40s. Mostly cloudy, mild, rain moving in late Saturday with a high of 40. Sunday's high 43 with a chance of showers lingering early in the morning. Again, right now at 5.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here's Erik Bilstad and Vince Vitrano.
13 minutes after 8, and a lot to get to this morning, including just minutes
the
away.
SOTs.
Indeed, sir. Announcing our final Standout of the Year winner.
People
Wisconsin's
who
Morning
have
News.
made an impact on the state of Wisconsin in the year 2024. We have our final honoree later this half hour.
This is a person we talked about a lot on Wisconsin's Morning News. It was on your social feed. It was on your television.
Oh, very good.
The SOTs.
So that coming up in minutes. Want to start with this. The White House, the Pentagon, Department of
Homeland Security.
Homeland Security, this, that, the other, whatever, all lining up to tell us there's nothing to worry about with these drones that have been appearing over the skies of New Jersey. New reports just today of additional drones spotted in the skies overnight. Compact car-sized drones appearing in the skies among the locations over a Trump-owned golf property, over military installations, report of a drone following a Coast Guard ship. ABC News national correspondent Stephen Portnoy exposing some of the frustration now and the lack of answers as to what these things are, where they are going, where they're coming from, and what they're doing.
Amid increasing concern over drone sightings, White House National Security spokesman John Kirby says the Coast Guard has looked into it.
There is no evidence of any foreign-based involvement from coastal vessels.
And Kirby says what people think are drones might actually be helicopters and planes.
Come on out, Mr. Kirby.
Mayor Sam Morris of Mine Hill, New Jersey, tells ABC News he saw devices hovering.
Sorry, that's not a manned small airplane. It's not a Cessna.
Lawmakers of both parties say the Biden administration should be doing more. One Democrat says the flying object should be shot down if necessary. Stephen Portnoy, ABC News, Washington.
Boy, and I'll tell you, we'll get to that point sooner rather than later, right? Somebody's going to attempt to intercept these, just person, right? Not military, not whatever. Somebody's going to take a shotgun out and see what they can do. I'm not saying you should. I'm just saying,
right? It's only a
for
matter of time. The more attention you bring to this, yeah, right. Joining us on Wisconsin's Morning News is Cody Retlick. Cody is with MKE Drones. So I know, Cody, obviously you are not operating these types of drones that we're seeing over the sky of New Jersey, but we're hoping you might be able to just give us some perspective on this. When it comes to operating something of this size, any idea on how far you can operate any drone, whether or not it's this size or smaller? Like where would an operator have to be versus them actually being levitated above a suburb or a city?
Right. Yeah. Hey, thanks guys for having me on. I really appreciate it. As you kind of mentioned in that intro there, I'm not 100% sure as well as anyone else, right, that they actually are unmanned aircraft, that they may be operated by a manned, person of some sort. They're large in size. They're very, very loud. If you do see these, videos of these bystanders and these people that are taking these recordings of them, they're significantly louder than, say, your average, UAV that, myself and others will be flying. But with technology advances in the last 3 to 5 years, drones in this way can be operated all the way across seas in different ways where you don't necessarily have to be in visual line of sight. Obviously, with commercial use and whatnot, that is a law that you have to have visual line of sight on these drones at all times. But there is technology out there that allows people to operate from, very, very large distances away from these drones.
That's a really important distinction. We're talking with Cody Rutledge of MKE Drones. Let's revisit that point that you made there, Cody. So if it's a hobbyist such as yourselves, or even if you're using a drone for a commercial purpose, line of sight. I mean, when I was over at TMJ4, we were first starting to get into using drones for our camera purposes.
Right.
And when we were operating the drone, we needed to be able to see with our own eyes where that drone was at all times.
Absolutely. Yep. And if there's certain situations where you lose line of sight, you are able to have a visual observer as kind of that next line of sight for you. So as long as if you lose sight of that drone, if you have two-way communication with your visual observer and they then pick that drone up when you lose sight of it, you're still in, the operation of the FAA's law of that. But ultimately, yeah, with these drones, I don't know if that's truly happening.
So, Cody, if I asked you, if you were in New Jersey right now and lived under where one of these was levitating or flying or whatever, if I said, hey, man, can you go out there and just chase after one of these and follow it home to see where it goes, would you be able to do that, or why wouldn't you be able to?
I mean, most likely not, right? I mean, also I've seen some reports that once police helicopters come into, even the near proximity of these aircrafts, they're turning their lights off and they're kind of going dark, as they'd say, right, to evade either these police helicopters or any sort of option of them getting caught. So the size of these drones, right? And we keep seeing drones, but I'm not 100% positive that they are drones, right? They're probably some sort of aircraft that, may be operated by, again, someone manned potentially. So they most likely can fly way longer distances than, say, your typical UAV would be able to fly, right? A typical range on, say, drones that we fly are, a mile to 2 miles, and that's pushing it, right? That's really pushing it. And then obviously you bring in the line of sight, like we talked about before. So not something that would be easy to do, is to just track them down or to follow them home, because I'm sure a lot of people have thought about that.
Cody, you may or may not know, because we're talking about manned aircraft versus a drone, a remotely operated aircraft. But with FAA regulations, if you had a small aircraft of the size of these, would you not need to file some sort of flight plan as you take off from an airport or whatnot?
Or mothership?
Yeah, right. Exactly, the mothership. Yeah, I mean, you would if it's manned, right? You definitely would have flight logs. And even, earlier this year, FAA put in remote ID, which is basically any UAV, right, unmanned aerial vehicle, is required by law, whether it's recreational or commercial flights, to have remote ID, which is basically a broadcast module that is put on any drone that ultimately gives planes, towers at any airport, traffic controllers, things like that.
Yeah.
Ultimately, your location and your ability to be seen. So I'm assuming by a lot of the reports and everything that we've heard and the knowledge that we have that, there are no radio frequencies on these vehicles, let's call them, because at the end of the day, if we would be able to shoot them down or to bring them down, I believe we would have done that by now.
All right, Cody, so you are with MKE Drones, and you do aerial photography over golf courses, real estate construction, all that type of stuff. So can you do that at night? Are there things you can see at night? What would obviously there's different technology, I suppose, but the difficulty of being able to capture something in the evening versus during the day, I'm assuming, no pun intended, is night and day.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's a good point, because I think that's something that I haven't heard a whole lot about, of why would they be flying these at night, right? At the end of the day, there's a lot of different services and different surveillance and things that you can do at night better than what you can do during the day, right? Obviously, video, photography, things like that, certain situations is great at night. But if you look at what type of operations might be best at night, we're talking thermal imaging, maybe of scanning areas or surveillance or looking at, certain inspection type missions, as you will, and that type of operation where ultimately it is better to fly at night, and it's more effective than it is during the day because you don't have a lot of the interruptions of the sun and things like that, where it may be more effective to fly at night. But there is a lot of different things that ultimately we don't know, right? That's what we need, though. They might be collecting data, right?
So, Cody, we need that. We need best
What
guess.
do you got?
No wrong answers. Best guess. What do you think?
My best guess is that internally we know what they are, and ultimately we're hiding it from the public in some ways to conduct some sort of mission, whether that's data collection on a certain area or ultimately a mission that is above my pay grade to know what is going on.
Have you been hired by the feds to be a part of this program?
Was really hoping you were going to say aliens, man, but all right, fine.
Cody Redlick.
Aliens, hey. If my brother-in-law would agree with you there. He believes it's aliens as well. So
tell him to get in touch.
Cody, thank you so much, man. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me on, guys.
That's
Take care.
Cody Redlick from MKE Drones, mkedrones.com.
Man, fascinating and really important insight. Okay, so like to his point, all right, maybe they're not drones. Maybe they are, manned aircraft. That's still a problem.
Right.
Call them whatever you want.
Doesn't make it good.
8:23. Sodi's next. All right, Deb.
Okay, here's what we got going on. We've got eastbound 94 with a bit of a backup from about 68th Street all the way through the Stadium interchange. Broken down vehicle on northbound 41 right about at Blue Mound Road. Luckily, that's off on the right shoulder, and I'm not seeing too many delays involved with that. Westbound's cleared up nicely. Southbound 43, nothing major. Maybe a quick tap of the brakes right past Locust, but other than that, we're looking pretty good. Hey, by the way, if you happen to see something you think we should know about, give us a call on the WTMJ Hall Volkswagen traffic tip line at 414-238-9329. Come to Hall Volkswagen for the Volkswagen Sign Then Drive event. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
All right, guys, time to practice for the trivia showdown we're hosting Wednesday.
What actor played Tessio in The Godfather?
No idea.
Abe Vigoda. Is he still with us? I'm not sure.
Hey, guys, focus.
Who was the founding member of the Rolling Stones that drowned in his pool?
Are you kidding me? Do you guys know any facts from this century?
Probably. I guess we'll find out.
We will find out. Join Steve Scafidi, Brian Noonan, and me, Kristen Bry, for the WTMJ Trivia Showdown, benefiting the Capco Kids to Kids Toy Drive, and brought to you by Quizmaster this Wednesday, December 18th at Broken Bat Brewery in Milwaukee. Join us to win prizes and find out if these guys know who Chapel Roan is.
Vince Vitrano here for Connect Chiropractic. The team is growing. Dr. Austin now on board. In fact, I just saw him yesterday. And like so many docs at Connect Chiro, he was inspired by his own experiences receiving chiropractic care to pursue the profession himself. So when he was a kid, Dr. Austin was telling me that he literally had growing pains. He's kind of a taller guy now, and his body was really a mess when he hit one of those growth spurts, and it was chiropractic care that helped him feel better. And the same went for his mom, who saw dramatic results when she was recovering from a traumatic injury. So now, inspired by the treatment that he believes in so strongly, Dr. Austin is bringing relief and better health to folks right here, including me. Been a patient for almost 2 years now. The docs use a special tool to make all the adjustments, so no twisting, no cracking, no popping. Just experts who know and understand your pain and will get you on the road to better health. In Delafield and Wauwatosa, get started now at Go Connect Chiro. That's GoConnectChiro.com.
A good neighbor would give you a cup of sugar if you asked. At Truestone Financial, we don't have any sugar, but we do have something even sweeter. Open and use a Truestone checking account, and we'll give you up to $350 cash back. It's not exactly what the recipe called for, but $350 can buy you a lot of cookies. It's true, because we're Truestone. Learn more and sign up at truestone.org. Offer subject to terms and conditions. Recipient responsible for applicable taxes. Membership required.
Hey, John Mercure here for Guthrie and Fry Water Conditioning. My reverse osmosis system in my house is fantastic. The water I drink, the water we feed the dogs, the water we cook with is crisp, clean, and clear thanks to Guthrie and Fry's RO system. It's the best in the business. It's affordable, it's effective, and you'll feel a lot better. It's all about the science. They know at Guthrie and Fry that better water makes a big difference. Southeast Wisconsin's #1 choice and my choice is Guthrie and Fry Water Conditioning.
Better water makes a big difference. Guthrie and Fry.
Sweet, flaky, and utterly delicious. That's the famous Kringle from O&H Danish Bakery. Guaranteed to get you on the nice list, O&H Danish Bakery can deliver that heavenly goodness right to your doorstep. Now that's a memorable gift where you know you've nailed it. And it arrives fresh in just 2 business days, anywhere within the country. Order online today, ohddanishbakery.com, or come on in to O&H Danish Bakery in Racine, Oak Creek, or Sturnivan and taste the difference of bakery made from scratch.
When you work at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores, you'll be helping us help others. There are many that need our help, and we need your help to carry out our mission. St. Vincent de Paul is always looking for part-time team members. You'll get competitive pay, benefits, and flexibility in scheduling. So apply online at svdpmilw.org or stop by Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, or 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
On Wisconsin's Morning News. The final installment, our WTMJ Wisconsin's Morning News Standouts of the Year.
The Soties.
It's going to stick, I'm telling you.
It already has. All the talk, the buzz around the city and the state, Soties.
All across Wisconsin, it's being talked about.
Right.
It'll be a thing where this time every year, folks say, I wonder we're going to release the Soties.
Mm-hmm. We'll have to have.
When are the Soties this year?
We'll have to have an event and have you MC it like you do the 40
Red
under
carpet?
40.
Absolutely.
Yep. Business Journal's got nothing on us. All right, the final standout of the year honoree. Are you ready? Got to get to it. Here we go.
The Wisconsin's Morning News Standout of the Year is Chef Dan Jacobs.
Well, chefs, you've worked all season long to get to this point.
Milwaukee chef Dan Jacobs on the season finale of the hit show Top Chef on Bravo.
Let's start with the first course, Dan's tuna dish.
Being on Top Chef has always been a dream of mine. I believe I tried out 13 times and you guys finally decided that this was the one.
Jacobs, a James Beard semifinalist, is not new to the culinary scene. He's been working in the city since 2011 and currently owns and operates Esterev and Dan.
Dan Jacobs has been a fixture in Milwaukee kitchens.
High praise from Milwaukee restaurateur Paul Bartolotta during the red carpet premiere of the show at Discovery World.
An incredible individual who is committed to the Milwaukee culinary community.
Chef Dan Jacobs has been part of I see it as a continued elevation of the Milwaukee food scene.
WTMJ's What's on Tap host Sandy Mack.
We had an official Milwaukee representative, but he really made Milwaukee, Wisconsin look good.
Restaurante's been in the same location for 30 years. Anytime you can have a restaurant around for that long, there's a reason for it. You feel the love in that space. It's a special place.
What makes Jacob's story even more compelling this year is the fact that he lives with Kennedy's disease.
I deal with a rare neuromuscular disease, very similar to ALS, not as debilitating or quickly moving, but I'm losing the ability to walk, talk. You can hear a little bit of graveliness in my voice. That's a part of it. Grip issues, a lot of physical stuff is just kind of slowly starting to decline. Like I wear braces on both my legs so I can still walk around and do stuff.
The thing about Dan's is how every bite presented something new to me.
The seasoning was incredible. And one of the most important things with soup is making sure that it's seasoned properly.
We killed it.
We did.
He's become a great advocate for people who get the disease because he showed in real life how he continues to be a creative chef and a successful businessman while living with these day-to-day symptoms.
Earlier this year, Jacobs helped raise more than $100,000 for Kennedy's disease research.
This season inspires people who are differently able to pursue their passions, especially in the culinary world where I know it's difficult. But really, it's just about putting your mind to it, man. We all have issues, we all have, troubles, but if you want to do something, just do it. Do it.
You are an inspiration.
I absolutely did exactly what I came here to do, and that was to inspire people.
Jacobs would fall short of winning Top Chef, but the future is bright.
With Dan Jacobs being such a fan favorite and nearly winning, you have to think he'll be on future shows, which is good for Milwaukee and Wisconsin and our culinary scene.
Milwaukee loves them, so shout out to Dan.
What would you say to Dan Jacobs if he's here right now?
Make me some food, bro.
Wouldn't you? Hey, man, what's to eat?
What do you got? Our last standout of the year honoree, Dan Jacobs from Top Chef on Bravo. Interesting, Sandy Maxer, who helped with that, pointed out that he's brought some of these quote-unquote chef testants, those who have been on the show, back here to the city at Esther Eve, and where they've done some work there, where they've done some cooking, if you will, and sharing their craft. So how about that? You're enhancing the visibility of the scene and of the city just by bringing those people back here to Milwaukee.
And those are the kind of people that'll tell everybody, hey,
yes,
you got to go see what's going on in Milwaukee. You wouldn't think, but no.
Right.
Trust me, go to Milwaukee.
So it's another ambassador, and you like ambassadors. Visit Milwaukee likes those ambassadors, so it'll help out for sure.
Speaking of Visit Milwaukee, right, our other standouts of the year this year, we had Peggy Williams-Smith, president and CEO of Visit Milwaukee, her contributions and the Baird Center coming online. That's not their thing. It's its own deal, but she definitely played a role in that. Republican National Convention, NFL Draft upcoming in Green Bay. Visit Milwaukee has a role to play there.
Also, Jay Rothman was named, and Pat Murphy of your Milwaukee Brewers. If you text the word standout to the WTMJ Talk and text line, get all that information. We have links to all of it. 855-616-1620. The first installment of
The Soties.
Experience, knowledge, and results. That's what really matters when you need help after a serious truck accident. You'll need a lawyer experienced in fighting and winning for people just like you. Gruber Law Offices has the resources, strong track record of success, and a team of experienced lawyers to take care of your needs. We've successfully helped people injured in big truck accidents for more than 35 years. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
The holidays are happening at Diamonds Direct. Still rushing to finish your holiday shopping? Don't worry, we've got you covered. Now through Sunday, it's our last chance sale with 20% off virtually everything. Earrings, bracelets, pendants, and more. Plus special financing options up to 5 years. But don't wait. This is your final opportunity to find the perfect gift at the best value before the holidays. Plus special designer appearances. Visit us during extended holiday hours or shop online and pick up in store. Our 20% off last chance sale ends Sunday. Learn more at diamondsdirect.com.
A buck in today's world doesn't go far unless you're spending it at Griffin. Because for just $1 over cost, you can buy brand new tires from us. Buy one or a whole set. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand. We'll put you in new tires for just $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. That's right, $1 over cost, and we'll even show you the invoice to prove it. So what's the catch? There's really no catch. You don't have to buy a car or a truck from us. We'd like it if you did, but our only requirement is we put them on for you. Buy one, two, or a set of four. The $1 deal at Griffin. Available at Griffin Chrysler Jeep South, 27th Street and Jefferson. Griffin Chevrolet in the Auto Mall. Griffin Ford, Waukesha, and Fort Atkinson. 5 ways to make your dollar go further. Griffin, the buck stops here, but the deals on tires don't. $1 over cost. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers.
Fleet Farm's got everything you need for everyday life. Brands from Carhartt to Milwaukee to Purina to Goodyear to Rapala to Levi's and a whole lot more. In-store or online, check out all the brands Fleet Farm carries to help make your everyday life better.
Traffic is brought to you by Rejuvenix, your non-surgical joint therapy experts.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Go to rejuvenix.com to request your appointment.
8:36, I'm Vince Vitrano on Wisconsin's Morning News, Friday, December 13th. Our top story, more prostitution allegations against a former public defender.
I'm Erik. Bilstad, criminal charges for a Milwaukee firefighter.
I'm Debbie Lazaga, and boy, howdy, we are looking good. There are no more delays around the area, no more incidents to report. So far, it's been a great morning. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Storm team forecast for today, a high of 28 degrees under increasing clouds, and the high temperature today is also the low overnight, as our temperatures over the weekend will rise into the 40s. Right now at 5, with a wind chill at 4 below. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, a former public defender in Milwaukee involved in a prostitution ring investigation now facing additional accusations.
Travis Schwantes was charged last month with 2 misdemeanors related to prostitution for having sexual relationships with several current and past clients. Further investigation now suggests he had sexual relationships with at least 3 other women he's represented. Several of the women identified themselves as past victims of human trafficking or sexual assaults, and all of them knew Schwantes worked as an attorney. So far, Schwantes has not been charged with additional counts. He's due in court next week with 5 other men in connection with the prostitution ring. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Milwaukee firefighter facing charges for beating a man with a baseball bat. Ty Dwight Jackson faces 1 count of first-degree reckless injury. The criminal complaint says the firefighter and his brother started fighting with this man who had entered their home uninvited last week, using a bat and then stomping on his head multiple times. He faces up to 25 years behind bars.
Milwaukee County Executive David Crawley is set to deliver a couple of commencement addresses, but at the same time, he will also be wearing a cap and gown.
Crowley promises a similar theme, but different speeches for the graduating class at MATC on Saturday and UW Milwaukee on Sunday.
Really speaking to the resilience of this particular class. I think people may have forgotten that this is the class that actually entered higher education at the onset of the pandemic.
The past 3 semesters, Crowley juggled his role as county executive, father, and full-time student.
I've taken anywhere between 12 to 15 credits to speed this along. The biggest challenge of all this was time management.
Greg Matzik, WTMJ News.
Crowley set to receive his bachelor's degree in community engagement and education from the UWM School of Education.
A couple of important recalls to pass along. More than 2 million Stanley Cups have been recalled. Not talking about the NHL Cups, not the trophies. The Stanley Cups have been recalled for multiple incidents of burn injuries. 2.5 million Stanley Cups recalled, reported to have loose tops. When holding the hot beverages, those loose tops can fall off and cause burns. Meanwhile, granola bars, the made good granola bars, are being recalled because they may contain a piece of metal. Not good. The company describes it as a small, flat brush bristle. There have been 7 complaints so far, but no injuries for, again, the made good granola bar.
News about your money, WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Dow Jones Industrial Average off the opening bell, up more than 100 points to 44,016. S&P 500 at 6072, that's up 21. NASDAQ up as well, over 100 points to 2012. Financial planning at every level, Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com.
Staggering inflation continues to affect so many families. Yet the Mineshaft restaurant in Hartford is more affordable than ever. It's a holiday Fish Fry Friday. It's all you can eat and just $7.99. Do not pay $16 or more. Your Mineshaft Fish Fry is $7.99. The Mineshaft is decorated with holiday lights, decorations, and Christmas characters. Your kids will love it, and the world-class game room. After a long week, relax with a cold brew, a delicious old-fashioned or glass of wine for a perfect fish fry. Desserts are buy one, get one free. Your Saturday steak dinner is under $20. The all-you-can-eat Sunday brunch under $18. The Mineshaft is in festive downtown Hartford with lots of seating. The low prices and holiday decorations will make you happy. They urge you to visit the Mineshaft today for the all-you-can-eat fish fry, just $7.99. Serving from 11 a.m. Arrive early. MineShaftRestaurant.com.
It started with a prediction.
We'll go out there and play basketball and win.
And how many games?
6.
It became the culture.
Chance of Bucks in 6.
Being a Bucks fan means you live and breathe Bucks in 6. Brandon Jennings created the prophecy. Tune into Behind the Bucks, the story of Brandon Jennings on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
That's for the culture.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. So I was looking at some of the bushes that have overgrown on my property, and I love our yard, but I need dormant pruning. That's what takes place during the winter when it's safe to cut back things so you have healthier trees and bushes around your house. Check right now to see if you've got stuff scraping against the siding or needs to be cut back, and schedule it now. Design Build landscaping projects are a year-round topic. Landworks Wisconsin does it the right way every time. They help people achieve their outdoor dreams by creating beautiful landscapes. I love these guys. LandworksWisconsin.com. Check them out today.
If you're not already paying more for a streaming service, you will be. You will be. YouTube TV, the latest now, bumping it up to $83, joining a whole bunch of others.
It's not just YouTube TV. In July, Peacock increased its premium subscription by $20 to $80 a year. In October, Disney, ABC's parent company, raised prices for Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus. As for Netflix users, one Wall Street analyst predicts a robust price hike coming in the new year.
Yeah, Netflix is coming as well.
Robust.
Yeah. YouTube TV, the latest to do it. $83 per month. When we first jumped on this, my wife and I, years ago, it was like $35 a month. And by the way, they also offered like Brewers and Bucks at that time. They don't do that anymore. So you're paying $50 more than just a few years ago, and you're getting less.
No, what's interesting though is YouTube TV you use for like your TV.
Correct.
Right? You're not necessarily streaming shows on that. They're not creating their own content.
Right.
This is what you use to get your local stations and your CNN or whatever
and
else.
It's a really nice application. Like I really like the use of it, how it works, how it operates, how you can save shows and all that different stuff. But it's way too expensive now.
One critic on X writing, "Congrats to YouTube TV for evolving into the very thing it swore to destroy," adding the hashtag full circle.
Yeah, it really has come full circle for a lot of people. Enough where my wife and I had the conversation last night. Do we cut the cord from cutting the cord? Do we have to eliminate this service because $83 is a lot for what you get from it?
Well, and that's the thing is if you start to do the math, if you originally cut the cord because you were going to be a Netflix person, but then there's Peacock and then there's Hulu and then there's Amazon and then there's this and then all of a sudden when you total it all up, it's right where you used to be.
If not more.
Right. 844, Wisconsin's Morning News.
Got ourselves a breakfast coming up next. Pancake breakfast. Pancake breakfast special.
I'm hungry.
It's not that kind of breakfast.
Well, I'm hungry in the mental sense.
Oh,
I'm
you're going to be
mentally
full after
hungry.
this one, I promise.
See, there we go. Okay. We actually have a really good ride shaping up right now. I'm really not seeing any kind of delays or any incidents in our area. Everything is in the green, and we are moving along fine. Hey, by the way, help out your fellow commuters. Report accidents and slowdowns to the Hall Volkswagen traffic tip line at 414-238-9329. Come to Hall Volkswagen for the Volkswagen Sign Then Drive event. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
This change has leveled us up while being able to maintain the same quality of service that we've always provided, with no upfront fees and 1.9% real estate commission. We're proud to be part of the Century 21 family, so you can move fearlessly with the added confidence of top-of-the-line marketing for maximum home exposure. And that means more eyeballs and the real potential for the highest price for your home. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated. With the ability to market luxury homes on a higher scale than ever before, Century 21 Benefit Realty has taken a huge step forward to tap into a global network of buyers. Maximum exposure to spotlight your unique home with our fine homes and estates marketing so you can sell it for the highest price. And with no upfront fees and 1.9% real estate commission, you win. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated.
In 1964, we were making strides towards space travel.
Mary Poppins was the #1 movie in theaters.
And the Beatles were taking America by storm.
Which was long before I was born.
Facts. 1964 is also the year it all started for Richland's Tire and Service Centers. 60 years of continuous growth and more happy customers than you can shake a stick at.
Okay, the streamers are a bit overkill. It's just us in the studio.
All right. But it's important to know accomplishments like these aren't possible without a dedicated team. So hats off to them and our founder, my dad, Dick Mitchke, for understanding the importance of customer focus.
Facts. There's no 60 years of anything without you, the customer, which is why our focus will remain on you and only you for years to come.
Thank you from all of us here at Richland's Tire and Service Centers.
Richland's Tire and Service, such a refreshing change. Richland's.
Keep this DJ. He's doing a good job today.
Yeah, I heard that.
846 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Long week, had a lot to jam in. It was a big week, Erik.
Yeah, it was a big week, big day today, too.
We had the Sodies and a lot of other things to jam into our shows each and every day for you. But we have a meeting after every show. We talk about what's in the show the next day. Some things make it, some things don't. So we ask our producer, Greg Pancake Hill, to whip up a little something with the leftovers in a segment we called the Pancake Breakfast Special.
What about breakfast?
We've already had it.
We've had one, yes. What about second breakfast?
All right, first things first, before I get started, let's give it up, everybody, to Erik Bilstad, who not created one, not two, but 5 absolutely awesome features that highlighted the standouts of the year. In fact, you can listen to every single one if you text standout to the WTMJ Talk and Text line, 855-616-1620. That wasn't a joke.
They're the real winners.
They are the real winners. And again, great job, Erik. Really appreciate your work there.
The Soties.
Indeed. However, as we know, not everyone had a stellar 2024, and I was so inspired by Erik Bilstad that I took it upon myself to point out maybe the not-so-standouts of the year, more like the sit-downs of the year. Big voice guy, help me out here.
The Wisconsin's Morning News sit-downs of the year. We call them Stodies.
The Stodies are going to be handed out right now. And I'll tell you right now, everybody, nobody is safe. So we'll start here. Personally, I think this one is a layup, and I'm not alone because it was the genuine consensus on the Talk and Text line, even during Erik's well-produced Sodi feature. The name that was brought up.
A lucky guy. That's all I'll say.
Yeah. Porty McChancellor Joe Gow, our first sit-down of the year recipient. The former UWL, thank you for clapping, I appreciate the theater. Former UWL Chancellor and Professor who was fired from his position for making sexually explicit videos with his wife.
She's Carmen.
And he's Joe.
And we are
the sexy, happy couple. And this is
Sexy, Healthy Cooking,
your go-to show for plant-based food.
Indeed. Had a cooking show included some of the most high-profile guests in the industry.
We're thrilled to have the one and only Will Pounder on
Indeed.
our show.
I could not figure out which drops to do, so instead of doing all of them, I tried to pick my favorite ones. And you know, even if Gow's teaching career is currently over, he taught us the one thing. The real lesson here is if you make porn behind your job's back and they find it, if you're the boss of that person in that situation, it could give you enough qualifications to earn one of these.
The Soties.
So, you know, I mean, it kind of all comes full circle there. All right, next up, we go back to July. What was in Milwaukee in July? Well, of course, the RNC, full of highlights, but my favorite stand-down of the year for the RNC was... Wow, we got to get rid of the porn music here a little bit, sorry. The famous stand-down of the year from the RNC is the guy who hit the security checkpoint gate when John Mercure was going through the checkpoint. Do you remember this at all? John was in the middle of going through the point, and it was in the middle of the protocol, right? You throw it in park, you roll your windows down, you wait for the dog to stop licking your elbow.
And suddenly I feel either a wet nose or a tongue licking my right elbow.
Okay, so but like aside from that was the guy who rammed into the gate.
Then, as the dog stops licking my elbow, I hear a big crashing sound. I look in the rearview mirror, and the car behind me has smashed into the barricade that they use to separate vehicles while they're screening them. I looked once more in the rearview mirror, and there were cops, like 50 of them, Secret Service, FBI, Homeland Security, swarming this vehicle. I could no longer even see the vehicle. It was like a swarm of bees on a hive. Don't know what happened to that guy.
So that guy, another sit-down of the year.
Don't know what happened to that guy.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's licking my elbow.
And I told you.
Different guy.
Different guy. Both. I told you that no one was safe. And boys, I love you. I really, really do. But I had to do it.
Yes!
No Corona!
It makes it more memorable this week.
Yeah, that was memorable.
It was memorable because we certainly didn't forget it here. Any commentary you want to provide? You want to come to the defense of yourself, or
go ahead, Erik? It was your idea.
I was proud of ourselves.
It was the time that your favorite radio host and mine took a 6-hour one-way drive down to Indiana for the path of totality in the solar eclipse. Well, they didn't make it all the way. So what did we learn here? You're welcome by the award, by the way.
I still firmly say that what we saw was a million times cooler than what you guys saw.
Add that to your curriculum vitae, as this has been the theme.
Yes.
So what did we learn here, right? We learned that not everybody's perfect. Not everyone had a perfect year, including myself. I had a hell of a year too, guys.
I am jazzed as hell.
Indeed. So, and, maybe if you felt like 2024 kind of left you being...
Absolutely boat race.
Yeah, I've been there.
You are so sick, dude.
Let's put 2024 behind us. And cheers to 2025.
Yeah.
And a happy new year, early new year to everyone, especially our sit-downs of the year. And by the way, you two, that includes you.
Rollins, thank you.
Not you, though, Deb. You didn't go.
Nope, I'm off the hook. For now. Doesn't have anything to do with the fact that I had 2 flat tires this morning. But anyway, the rest of the system, we are actually looking really good. As a matter of fact, the entire system is looking really good. No incidents and no delays right now. Volume is relatively low, so it is a good Friday morning at this point. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Absolutely boat raced.
If you missed this,
How was your time at the Vietnam Wall?
Very touching. I know 11 people on that wall. We had a chance to look up some of them on there. It was very, very moving experience for me. I held it together, though. I could feel the floodgates tried to open a couple of times.
or this,
President and CEO of Special Olympics Wisconsin, Chad Hirschner, joins us live in studio.
This is a place where they belong, they feel comfortable, they make friends, they learn to become leaders.
check out Wisconsin's Afternoon News, the podcast.
Vince Vitrano here for Johnson & Sons Paving. Potholes, cracked pavement, about to get worse on you. Freeze-thaw cycle, undefeated, right? We were below zero with our wind chills. Now we're going to be in the 40s. That freeze-thaw back and forth, it's going to tear up your walkway, your driveway, your commercial parking lot. If you got trouble there already, it's going to get worse. So let's get this local family-owned company over there for a free quote. You can do that now, even if the work is coming up next spring. And here's what you get. Direct from my team at Johnson & Sons Paving. We mitigate landmines in your budget and schedule, and we don't play the low bid, high actual cost game. You got to get the work done, so let's get them out there. Plenty of Johnsons over there, no subcontractors, asphalt and concrete. JohnsonandSonsPaving.com.
Blue sweater, red sweater, reindeer sweater, extra double thick sweater.
What are you doing?
Getting my closet ready for winter. It'll be here before you know it.
Good point. We should all be getting our vehicles ready for winter too. And now's the time to visit any of the 115 Adam member new car dealers to get your oil changed, have your brakes and wipers checked, and make sure your tires will get you through a long Wisconsin winter. Just visit ADAMM.com to find the nearest Adam member dealer.
If you are looking for an epic global experience, let Fox World Travel's vacation experts handcraft your next journey to Europe. In partnership with Globus, Insight Vacations, and Avalon Waterways, we've created outstanding itineraries with exclusive experiences to Ireland, Poland, Germany, France, Italy, Switzerland, and more. Or we can fully customize a journey based on your interests. Visit foxworldtravel.com to book online or call 866-GO-FOX-GO. Join us and make memories to last a lifetime.
Politics, work, daily stressors. Let's take a break from all that and get centered, Christ-centered. I'm Pastor Tim Butker. Join me each week for Christian Crusaders, a broadcast that highlights the gospel, the good news of Jesus, and our belief in the authoritative Word of God. Christ-centered, gospel-oriented, Bible-based, Christian Crusaders. Please join us Sundays at 6 a.m. on WTMJ. We'd love to have you worship with us.
Traffic is sponsored by SB Framing Gallery, Milwaukee's distinctive archival framing.
SB Framing Gallery in the 3rd Ward can enhance and protect your artwork for generations. Framing pieces with archival and distinctive design. Learn more at sbframinggallery.com.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
That should be the show. WTMJ's forecast sponsored by Dave Dre Camp Heating, where your comfort is their family's tradition. Yeah, still pretty cold. Wind chills below zero yet, but We're on our way to a high of 28 degrees today, and that will be tonight's low, as Saturday is a high of 40 degrees. Rain moving in Saturday night, might linger into Sunday, and Sunday's high 43. 48 for the high temperature on Monday. Let's go.
Nearly 50 degrees on Monday.
That's nuts. What a week. The standouts of the year. First ever time we really formalized the process. I think it's a raging success.
Yeah.
So if you'd like to hear our latest, which was Chef Dan Jacobs or any of the others, that is texting standout to 855-616-1620. Anything we talked about on the show today? Drone guy was fascinating.
Yes. Talk to a local drone expert from dronesmke.com or mkedrones.com. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he was talking about what's going on out east over New Jersey. Had some really interesting thoughts on what those things could be, what they probably are not, and how we might ultimately find out what's behind the mystery.
Text the word Vince to the talk and text line 855-616-1620. We'll send you all of the conversation.
WTMJ's Political Power Hour with Steve Scafidi up next.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
Plans for a $440 million business park in Racine County move forward, with construction possible as early as spring 2025. The Caledonia Village Board authorized the village to enter into a development